Hello! How's it going, chat? I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to yet another stream where we have a bunch of stuff to discuss. And then I promise we'll get the trails. I do feel bad because we have been trying to stream this game and get this game out, and we just keep having so much stuff to talk about before stream that our playtime's limited, but it's okay. Jan34, thanks for joining us. Black Lion Guard, thanks for joining us. Everyone in YouTube and Twitch chat, thank you so much. We got a couple of things to talk about first today with regards to Hamaguchi doing more interviews. So that's always exciting. And as we inch closer to Part 3 being announced eventually, I think we're getting close. I mean, he's taking all these interviews. Now, of course, he's taking these interviews because, not necessarily because Part 3 is coming, although Part 3 is indeed coming. It just has a lot more to do with the fact that ultimately the Switch 2 port of Final Fantasy VII Trilogy is coming, and that's probably why he is more interested in taking interviews. All these FF7 updates are low-key driving me crazy. Like, I love FF7, but come on, where's my KH4? I mean, it's because KH4 is not ready yet. I mean, that's just like bluntly all it comes down to. The game is not ready. And yes, I know that hurts. It hurts me too. I want KH4 to be ready like yesterday. I don't think that it's any type of situation like some people on the internet are suggesting, where they believe that in some way KH4 is being held back by Final Fantasy VII Re-Trilogy. I don't think that's the case. I mean, not even like Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake is holding back Dragon Quest 7 remake, right? Those games just literally happen to be finished around the same time. TGAs are bust. Yeah, I think so. I could see it happening at the TGAs. I could also see like KH4 happening at the TGAs too. I do think that they have to get going on Kingdom Hearts 4 soon, because it cannot be like, it can't be that KH4 is going to take longer than, let's just say, 3 more years, right? Because at some point, PlayStation 6 is going to be a thing. So it would kind of be a shame for KH4 to be announced like 2 years, not even 2 years, like a year and a half really, into PlayStation 4's life cycle, because PS4 came out late November 2020, right? So, KH4 basically being announced a year and a half in the PS5's life cycle, you would hate to see it like get pushed to PlayStation 6. Which, I mean, there will probably be a PlayStation 6 version anyway. Master Key, hello, how you doing? We'll get KH4 before Elder Scrolls 6. I think that's probably guaranteed. Remember that we've at the very least seen Kingdom Hearts 4. We still have not seen jack of shit from Elder Scrolls 6, except for a logo. I don't even think Elder Scrolls 6 has like a subtitle yet, right? There's always a subtitle for Elder Scrolls games. All we got is the fact that we're making it, maybe. So I think that Elder Scrolls 6 will probably be a next generation title. TGA is going to have one of the bigger SE titles like 7R3, KH4, Nier 4, or Dragon Quest 12. It's just a roulette. Right. And I mean, that's kind of the thing that is keeping us all patient. It's not like we don't know that those games are in development, right? 7R3, KH4, Nier 4, Dragon Quest 12. Those are all going to be like really big releases. And I think when those happen, depending on the quality of them, which I think will be high, we'll be able to say, yo, we're back. We're so back. This is the new golden age of Square. That's my hope. And I think we're headed there. I think we're on a comfortable pace for things to be in a good place. Crossy, what's up? In the Dragon Quest minds, that's good. I don't think Dragon Quest fans have anything to worry about in general. They seem to be getting a healthy, very healthy amount of content, and they've been kept so entertained between Dragon Quest 11 and 12. They got a healthy number of spin-offs. They've gotten remakes, everything. I would go as far as to say that Dragon Quest is Square Enix's best maintained IP. As in, like, if you look at the quality of releases and you look at the quality of spin-offs that they get and how frequent it all happens, I would say that, like, overall, their best maintained IP is probably Dragon Quest. And also Dragon Quest sees, like, pretty steady growth. Right, like Dragon Quest 11 performed like really well. Even in the West, it did like some pretty substantial numbers. And then also, Dragon Quest 12, I feel like is primed to do record numbers. In fact, I would probably go as far as saying that I think Dragon Quest 12, I'll place a high bet on this. I'll place a high bet on it. I will go as far as saying I could see Dragon Quest 12 being the first 10 million seller Dragon Quest, because I don't think we've had a 10 million seller Dragon Quest. Crossy will correct me on that. What is 11? 11's at... Okay, Dragon Quest 11's at 8.5 million. And that's the best-selling entry. And that 8.5 million number came... Let me see. That was May of this year. Dragon Quest 11 honestly might be the first 10 million, like... because it's still been selling, right? So I could see Dragon Quest 11 pushing toward that. Now it says Dragon Quest 11S. I don't know. I mean, obviously that doesn't just include, that probably includes like the base Dragon Quest 11 and 11S. But what I'm wondering is, does it include the 3DS version? I imagine it does. I imagine they include the 3DS version in that. Yeah, Yuji Horii just got an award from the Japanese government, an Emperor, the Order of the Rising Sun. Believe it's similar to the things like the OBE and knighthoods in the UK. He is the very first video game dev in Japan to get the medal for his contributions to Japanese society. That's awesome. Hopefully not the last either. I would love to see, I think Hideo Kojima also would deserve one, and I would say maybe even like Miyamoto. I mean, obviously maybe Miyamoto and Nomura. I feel like those guys would like really kind of deserve that. I don't know. There's a lot of great Japanese auteurs that probably also should be next in line for that. Those Dragon Quest 11 sales are funny because out of all the versions across the Switch, PS5, PC, PS4, etc., which do you think is the best seller? The fucking Japanese exclusive 3DS version. Yeah. Masahiro Sakurai? Yeah, Sakurai also definitely deserves one. I mean, there's just honestly so many great creatives, Japanese creatives, that I wouldn't even know where to begin. But I would say that Yuji Horii and the popularity and love that Dragon Quest has for, and like what it's done for Japanese culture, absolutely deserved. So definitely congratulations to Yuji Horii for that. Yeah, that being said, Dragon Quest 11 did phenomenal. 8.5 million is like absolutely insane. Most people in the West, I would go as far as saying this is probably their first Dragon Quest. It was my first Dragon Quest, and we'll be changing that soon because it's been like basically my only Dragon Quest. And I want to catch up on the series and get really acquainted with it before we dive into Dragon Quest 12, which hopefully we'll be doing before we all die. But DQ11 is probably one of the greatest JRPGs ever made, and It's really awesome. And if they are able to surpass DQ11 with Dragon Quest 12, which I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, just from having all the experience they have from Dragon Quest 12. They also don't have to make two versions like they did with 11. Really, three versions, because there's also a classic 2D version that is included with with 11S, and that was part of the 3DS version. You know, there is also, I'm not gonna lie, there's also part of me that thinks like, I know this wouldn't be as practical, but there is part of me that thinks like if they could do Dragon Quest 11 and make a 3DS version and make like a full HD version, I'm almost like, man, would it be possible to just build a Final Fantasy that's turn-based and action, you know? I know that's not quite the same, and both of those things are really expensive to do because basically they expensed making basically two games for like, it's basically like one thing, but it's like two games, two different games really. And so I really can't help but wonder. I'm like, maybe that can be the great compromise. You put out Final Fantasy 17 and there's turn-based addiction and then there's action addiction. Like Resident Evil Requiem being third person and first person. Yeah, that's like another thing I thought about because a lot of stuff in RE Requiem they basically do have to build twice to accommodate like the third and first person being like good. So I am kind of like, but then also too that just makes development balloon even more. And then it's kind of like, should we be doing that? Should we be like ballooning development cost even more? I'm not like actually suggesting they should do this because the development cost involved might actually be really tremendous and maybe entirely unfeasible. I'm just throwing it out there like um I'm just throwing out the idea of like, is that possible? Is that a thing that can be done? I assume not, because basically you have like two versions of the game and maintaining both and balancing both across both battle systems, essentially having two battle teams. I do think that would actually be interesting. Like we kind of have somewhat of a concept of this right now with classic mode in the re-trilogy games. Now, classic mode kind of is not good. I have not tried classic normal in Rebirth. And nobody that I know, nobody, I don't even think that there is a single soul that has tried classic normal. They tried to buff classic mode and make it so that you could play classic mode and like there was actually a lot more involvement that you had to do. But the problem is that classic mode is still just like, you just like, I forgot it was an option. Yeah, it's an option. Basically, the characters just like auto fight, and you just select commands, and it's just. I like the idea of classic mode, and I like the accessibility of classic mode, right? Because the accessibility of classic mode means even like my girlfriend, for example, could probably play, uh, like the game. It's cool, but like it's not like an actual mode though. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a thing that skilled players or like actual turn-based fans that want to play. But I do think that in that system, is there a way to change and balance it and actually have that be a classic mode and an action mode that coexist? I don't know. I do think if they ever figure that out, that'll be cool. And yeah, I don't want to say that that's what they should do because the pipeline for creating that and the resources involved in creating that are very expensive and it's very complicated to engineer something like that. And yeah, I don't I don't even know how to like begin. I think KH is still its own unique thing. I'd say FF7R is an evolution of 13. FF13? I think it's both. FF7R is an evolution of KH and it's an evolution of FF13. It's literally, um, I mean, basically the game is Final Fantasy 13 meets Kingdom Hearts would be like literally an accurate way to describe FF7R's combat. And I think it makes sense because when you think about Creative Studio One creatives, they're people that worked on they're people that worked on Kingdom Hearts and they're people that worked on Final Fantasy 13. So of course, you know, uh, their combined efforts would be something that is a combination of their history, right? And I think we felt that in Rebirth, especially where it seemed to be a culmination of everything that they had worked on prior to that. So let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty of today. So we got more Naoki Hamaguchi interviews. The man is an absolute beast. He has been doing a tremendous number of interviews, not only to hype Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3, but of course, he also wants to make you aware that Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming to Switch 2, and it is coming to Xbox. So the first interview was this one I want to talk about. This one is from Eurogamer, and basically he says that there's almost no documentation from the original game to reference. So this is something that we've known about, basically. Square, during the 90s, did not save anything. As soon as games were made, they threw everything out. And this is really unfortunate, both for the fans and for them. Because when it comes to doing remakes and remasters, much like the recent Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, when they went to release Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles, or they went to go get the code in order to make that remaster, unfortunately, nothing was left. None of the assets, none of the code. They essentially had to reverse engineer the current game, as well as rebuild that game from scratch simultaneously. This is also something they had to do with Kingdom Hearts 1 whenever they were making the HD remix. Square saved nothing. And again, as Master Key points out in chat, this was an ultra common practice, unfortunately, in the 90s, especially in Japan. They just thought, well, we're not going to need that anymore. And so they threw it out. It's just so funny because, you know, when I think about gamers, I think about collectibles. I think about pack rats. I think about people who never throw anything away. I think about people who still have like their Super Nintendo box in their closet, their PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 box in their closet, and never throw anything away ever. Colossal Drive First Class, thank you so much for the tier 1. Thanks for being with us for 33 months, brother. Appreciate you. So yeah, when I think of gamers, I think of like people who just be like straight hoarding, man. Like for real. People who don't throw anything out. So I am kind of surprised that, you know, this is a thing that happened to gaming companies, but yeah. So let's see that. Let me find the interesting part of the interview. Working on. Okay, here goes the first quote that mentions how they threw everything out. Let me see if I can zoom in just a little bit without fucking up our cropping. We'll go with like right there. Give me one sec. So Eurogamer asks, before we start here, we were talking a little bit about the creator behind the original game. So let's briefly talk about the original. What's the attitude working on the remake series in terms of referencing old documents and the like from back in the day? Are you looking at stuff thinking about reviving old ideas or just for reference? Or indeed, how much of that stuff even still exists? I know back then material preservation wasn't exactly a priority. Hamaguchi. I mean, you probably expect this knowing as you do about game development back then. We're talking about the mid 90s. There's almost no documentation left over from that period at all, practically none. Game development back then was a lot more Wild West. A lot of material was just not kept. Data management wasn't done to modern standards. So yeah, there's basically nothing. There are some character design sketches I think we still got, and obviously anything which was published separately. So the Ultimania guides have a few of the original documents in there, but in terms of stuff like, for example, partway through development, written documents, design documents, etc., yeah, there's practically nothing to work with. This is crazy. Think about this for a second, right? Because we always talk about, like, are they reusing certain ideas that they had back then on this game? But I actually think a lot of those ideas, they probably didn't even straight up remember, dude. I know, at least for me, there's no way I still would have a ton of ideas for something I worked on 30 years ago. So I do feel like it is kind of unfortunate when it comes to this remake project, them not being able to pull up exact ideas that were cut that they could bring back to life now, purely because a lot of them were probably lost to time, and if they weren't wrote down, I'm sure that they probably got forgotten in some capacity. Not by Nomura, though. Nomura remembers everything. Every idea he ever had was sacred. In fact, I think he even said that he keeps like a book of all of his ideas, and like he has them all saved. So I bet he still knows everything, but everybody else and all their ideas probably lost the time at this point. The no saving source code, etc., is why the modern HD ports of the old PS1 games actually have worse pre-rendered backgrounds or somewhat sloppy AI upscaled ones like Chrono Cross. It's especially noticeable with the increased resolution and the higher fidelity 3D assets in these newer releases as well. Yeah, it sucks. Because it basically means, without AI upscaling, you can never actually create HD versions of those backgrounds. Now, that being said, there are really, really good AI upscale mods that do phenomenal jobs, like Moguri mod, which is a comprehensive AI upscale mod for Final Fantasy IX. But in terms of actually being able to re-render those backgrounds at ultimate quality, it is simply impossible now, unfortunately. I thought if any game studios have thought or toyed with the idea of decompiling their old games like the fan communities have been doing with games, why we have things like Ocarina of Time and Mario 64 PC ports, because fans spent years decompiling and recompiling code. Because that is also like really expensive. And probably in some ways, it's probably harder for them to do that than just go ahead and rebuild the game in a lot of ways. Wasn't it the same issue with the original KH1 and 2 games? Yes. I don't think it was quite the same with 2. I don't think 2 had the problem, but original 1, yes. I don't think we ever got confirmation on KH2 and whether or not it's using the same code or not. But KH2 also came much later in the mid-2000s where data preservation was better. So I'm willing to bet that with KH2, they just actually had the code. There's more to this statement here. He says, before we started, we were talking about the legendary creators who worked on the original game. Certainly, that reminded me that there was one very important thing that I remember I made quite a clear decision on when I was given the role of director for the remake series. That's what I really wanted to avoid here is because basically, that's what I really wanted to avoid here is basically because I am such a big fan of the game. Because of that, what I'm doing is not I'm sorry. What I'm not doing is trying to overwrite the original games with my own fan perspective of it and create a new version of the game, which is essentially a fan fiction of it. Very interesting words here. If there was an amount of that design documentation left over from the original games, that would probably make my job there in avoiding that problem a lot easier. Because I could just obviously look through that documentation and go, okay, this is what the original intent was. It's all down here. I'll just try and copy that, and any changes will be based on that. As I said, unfortunately, none of that documentation is around. But what really has helped me, and kind of makes up for that fact, is that a lot of those legendary creators that you mentioned are very much still involved in the project. Obviously, Kitase Yoshinori, FF7 director, Mr. Nomina Tetsuya, FF7 artist, Mr. Toriyama Motomu, FF7 event planner, Mr. Nojima Kazushige, FF7 writer, they're all still involved in the remake projects, and they're available very easily, so I can go back and check things against them. Every time I may be concerned or worried about, okay, is this really the core? Is this really at the core of what Final Fantasy VII? Okay, is this really what's at the core of Final Fantasy VII? Is this really what the original intent was? How do I change that? Should I change that? I can very easily go and talk to these guys, and they can let me know and give me the outlook from the original creative team perspective. So I think that really does help, actually, because once I know that, okay, we've got a good understanding that's been passed down from the mouths of the original creators. Then we can work out, okay, how can we reimagine it and represent that in a new game presentation for a new audience? I think that is perhaps one of the biggest reasons why it's been such a success, really. So I really am grateful for having them on hand. Even if there's no documentation, we can kind of get it from the horse's mouth. Really interesting. Very interesting. NSP's dyslexia kicking in for a second, bro. It always it always kicks my ass when we have to read these interviews. I was under the impression Nojima was making those big changes, although I guess it's not clear how much control Hamaguchi has here. Here is the thing, right? It gets tossed around a lot who is making what changes, right? Like all the time, constantly, fans are saying, well, actually, it was this guy making the changes, or actually, it was that guy making the changes. Realistically, we don't know. And all of them have some degree of creative control, and all of them are deeply involved in the project. And I think when I realized just how intertangled all of this is, I kind of stopped thinking in terms of like, oh, this guy is responsible or that guy is responsible. I now just think this is the decision of Creative Studio One. And that's a much better, much more healthy way to think of it than one guy is the problem, or like one guy is like making all of these decisions about, what's going on. And the reason is just because, like, we literally don't know. Final Fantasy games are not really developed quite like a lot of other games are. It's not like it's all just one guy coming up with all this. They tend to collaborate very heavily. But also all of them are signing off on all of their various parts. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't say that one person is responsible for all of FF7R's changes, really. Because some people will say, oh, it was Nomina, or it was Kitase, it was Nojima, it was Hamaguchi. Not really true. We literally don't know. And all of them were all involved with everything to some degree, right? So not really a single person we can necessarily point to and say, That's a great idea. And also, too, as Hamaguchi mentions here, he's going to his other, fellow creatives who worked on the game, and they're giving him their insight on where things should go. I don't think he's going to speak to or take an idea from somebody who has seniority on him working on the original game and be like, no, your idea is bad. I'm going to do my idea. I don't think anyone's going to do that. I can't imagine him doing that. Right. So I think that even in terms of the idea that they all signed off on it, I think that they're just willing to respect each other's contributions and trust each other's creative instincts, right? And typically, this has kind of been how Final Fantasy has thrived over the years, is that it's not like there's just one director at the top who makes all the right decisions and who makes sure that the entire project always stays on track and he's just so good. I mean, yes, that is the job of the director and the producer. But realistically, Final Fantasy, whenever you read these interviews, it's because they are all so deeply involved. It's so deeply collaborative. And that's really what separates the development of a Final Fantasy game from just any other game, It's just how deeply collaborative it is, which is why some people are like, oh, Nomura is just the character designer. Why are they letting, the character designer do this or anything like that? Really, he's always been way more than just a character designer. Nomura is deeply involved with every single Final Fantasy game that Creative Studio One and their lineage has worked on, The very concept of FF8 is him, right? He's the one who literally birthed that idea, And if you look at the credits for the OG FF7, the credits for the original concept of FF7 is Sakaguchi and Nomura. So Nomura was involved with creating the base concept of FF7. So new Shadowbringers stuff from CVU 3. The fuck? They must be building up for 8.0. I wouldn't be surprised if 8.0 tries to be Shadowbringers 2 in some capacity. Because they got a lot of backlash for Dawn Trail. The game is kind of at a low period right now. They need to bring people back in. And I feel like they're going to try to make 8.0 deeply connected to Shadowbringers. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Yeah, game dev as a whole is very collaborative. Change one thing and it affects the rest of the product, and all of it has to come together. A big reason why games are so hard to make. Yeah. I want 8.0 to be FF10 themed. I don't want it to have any previous FF theme, but if they are going to have a previous FF theme again, you are right. It should be Final Fantasy X. Iteration must play a big role in that too, right? Especially with the story. I imagine you guys are adjusting and showing things around the team to make decisions about how far you're going to push something, how much you're going to change. And I know it's not something you guys love, but one of the things about coming out on PC is that you got fans digging and discovering bits left over from earlier versions and of scenes and earlier versions of the scenes and alike. So in that spirit, I'm curious if you can speak to the level of iteration that you have to do on some of these important scenes. I'm thinking especially about the scenes at the climax of Rebirth. What was that process like, going from the initial thought through to the final thing? Yes, of course there are iterations. The idea of a retake, I suppose, to use film terminology, the idea that we create something and then we feel it's not quite up to scratch, or if it doesn't communicate what we want it to do and then achieve what it's supposed to do in the game, we'll go back and we'll create a new version of that. So obviously there is a certain level of that in the game. I think in terms of overall and how it fits into the overall design of the game, there are a studio out there where in terms of story development, scripting, and how the basic bones of the story will be, they decide that by iteration, testing lots of versions to work out the best one. But in terms of what kinds of discussion on the storyline overall, my team doesn't actually do many whole team discussions on that. There's a very good reason for that. I think that if you have too many people putting input into these things, it becomes a decision by committee, and it can lose creative vision. I think I prefer having a single artistic vision with a story writer and showing what they want to show. Claxton? Claxton? Is that how you say your username? Thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Clax, I'll just call you Clax. Clax, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, YouTube stream is like, YouTube is always slightly behind because I don't know why, but it just is. The final authority on that, in our case, is Mr. Nojima, the story writer. If he wants to express something in the story, if he wants to show something, essentially, we'll be saying, yes, we have to show that. There is a bit of leeway, obviously. He puts down a decision of what he wants to show, and then we try it out. And then we look at the end results and assets if it's working or not. I'm sorry, we look at the end result and then assess if it's working or not. If the feeling that it's not is getting across, if the feeling that it's not getting across what we had in mind with his original script to elicit the right emotional reaction, we can obviously adjust, try to change it, try different versions, try different approaches until we finally get to that right version. But in terms of iterating on the story, we try to avoid that to keep one solely creative vision. But yeah, I think maybe part of the reason for that question is because, yeah, we did leave some of the older versions of the script in the game. And I think obviously people picked up on them, and it maybe led to a bit of unnecessary speculation about what could have happened, what it could have been. I think also, yeah, fair enough, you got us, he laughed. I think we need to try harder to keep those out of the game. Why are y'all asking him about this, dog? You shouldn't be asking him about the scripts left in the original game. You need to leave it in there so that he's like, oops, I left it in there again for part 3. So we can have more information. Now he's going to be like, hey, you guys, make sure you scrub the data harder so that there is no like leftover shit so people aren't like, oh, it looks like you changed this and that. Don't ask them about it, bro. Let them leave it in. But anyway, he says, I think in some ways it could be fun, though, if you don't take it too seriously. It gets people's imaginations going. They might think, the game could have been this, it could have been that. So, if you look at it in that respect, I think it's harmless fun if you're just imagining what it could have been. And I agree. So it is really interesting that the final authority is Nojima for what they want to do with the story. However, they're able to essentially play around with it and adjust it to get the final vision across. It also kind of clears up the fact that, they're just playing the story by ear. They definitely have an endpoint in mind. Essentially, what the adjustment probably is, if any, is that they're adjusting based on how they want to present certain story elements, but they're probably not writing certain story elements around what fans say. I know that this was a point of discourse at one period of time. So, I think that they have always had a vision in mind for where they want to take Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think that how they presented certain things probably has changed, but I think that the actual meaning and the actual direction have probably been determined from the start. Um, that's funny. He mentions trying to get the Triforce in Ocarina of Time, which is also some shit that I did when I was a kid too. But those fans are older, more skilled than ever, digging into your game. I'm one of those people that wrote over 1,000 words analyzing Rebirth. Is there anything else interesting from this interview? Just to keep on the narrative thread within the parameters you've laid out, left from the top, just how much of your narrative in the remake trilogy is on a... Okay. Yeah. So he emphasizes what I was just talking about there with the story. So this is actually a good question. Let's read this. Just to keep on the narrative thread, within the parameters you laid out, led from the top, how much of your narrative in the remake trilogy is on a preset path? If so, we go back to 2015. All right, it was a different time. It was different far. Here I go again. My brain's crashing. All right, it was different that far back since at that stage CyberConnect 2 was involved and the like. But to go back to the start of the remake project, how did you guys know the shape of things? Steve27, thank you so much for the tier 1. Appreciate it. The cliffhanger at the end of the first game. How Rebirth ends. The grand finale that you're working on now. How much was predetermined and how much is based on fan feedback? Figuring out stuff game to game. So this is a really, really, really good question. And this has basically been debated since the start of the project, or at least since people first finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. Again, there's been so much discussion. Are they playing this by ear? Are they really just leaving things open so they can adjust based on how fans react to it? Here's what they say. Hamaguchi says, in terms of the overall plot, how the story was going to go, and the overall themes and direction for the remake, that was all very much down at the beginning when we started the project. Obviously, the details of how specifically that's going to be presented, how that's going to be shown in the game, that wasn't there yet. It was very much a rough outline, a basic plot summary, really. And again, one thing we hadn't decided at that stage was where we would cut the 3 parts. The story was all there, but where each game would start and end was still up in the air at that point. It was very much a plot outline. None of the details were in there, and obviously some of the big themes of the gameplay and some of the other scenes were very much able to be changed and tweaked around as we went through working on the series. I think one example is that in Rebirth, we've got this scene where Aerith is singing the theme in the gold saucer. That wasn't in the original planning. That just wasn't in there. But then, partway through the development of Rebirth, Mr. Kitase actually came up to me and said, if we got this theme song, I really like to have that as something in the game where they actually sing. He really pushed to have that included, which is why we did it, but wasn't in there at all from the original plan. Okay, absolutely based Kitase, let's fucking go. I have to say that I thought that was probably like my favorite moment in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. When Aerith sings No Promises to Keep, that was a magical moment. Who's to say Kitase doesn't still got it? I think he does. Listen, I know some people are very contentious about the Magic Girl stuff, songstresses. I love them. And if you don't love them, fuck off. I love them. I think that they are awesome. That is like my favorite shit. I think we need more moments like that in Final Fantasy overall. I hope that Final Fantasy 17 also features a scene where a girl is singing on stage. I do, because I think that is like, I think that shit is awesome, and I want more of that in Final Fantasy, not less. So again, that's like one of the best scenes. So yeah, there's stuff like that that's constantly adjusted through development, but the general overall theme of Final Fantasy VII Remake has been there from the beginning. They've adjusted certain stuff, how they want to present it, but it's not like they're like, oh, fans didn't like that one, so let's go back and change the story. That's not what they're doing. It's funny when you look at the Gungaga and Forgotten Capital sequence and remember how they said that they were going to end the game with Tifa falling in the live stream initially. Some of that Destiny's Crossroads vibe we got in the Capital could have been left and made it to the Gungaga reactor sequence. Wait, did they say that she was going to fall into the live stream initially? I must have missed that. That's interesting. Anyone saying that the song ruined the tone is wrong. Just dead wrong. First of all, I really love No Promises to Keep as a song, part of which is because, you know, it's Uematsu who composed it. And to me, it really does sound like just a classic Uematsu song. It sounds right in line with Melodies of Life and Eyes on Me and Steki Dane and all of those like vocal themes that Uematsu has worked on in the past. So I would backhand anyone who, not literally backhand, who would disagree with that. But for sure, I would vehemently disagree with anyone who would say verbally backhand. Yes, not literally. We don't condone violence. But I would vehemently disagree with anyone saying that that wasn't brilliant. I love those songs. I love that Uematsu is back to compose something that sounds like his classic vocal themes. It was just an absolutely brilliant moment, and it really did kind of take me back to kind of the peak of PlayStation era Final Fantasy. So, I'm a fan. Yo, okay, this one right here. I'd assume that had to come from Mr. Nomura, given we know he has a taste for musicals. Ah, dog. Okay, this one we gotta read. Yeah, I mean, I can really remember that episode so well because it was quite sudden. It was actually quite late in development, actually. We were just discussing with Mr. Uematsu after he finished the song. It was the first version. A great song, by the way. I think that's part of why Mr. Kitase wanted it in there, because it's such a great song. He came out saying, I want that in the game. That has to be in the game. Do something about that. And we had to all rush to get it made very quickly. That's so funny. Okay. I don't think Hamaguchi like fully knows like what the interviewer was talking about there, or the reference to the fact that Nomura apparently, reportedly, allegedly barged in the Square Enix and said that he wanted to make Final Fantasy Versus 13 into a musical. No one knows to like what degree, how serious or how true that was. I always assumed that it was like kind of a joke and that he wasn't actually trying to turn it into a musical randomly. But we also don't know. We just know that that was said, and we never really got to know the context behind it. I promise, if I ever get a chance to interview him, if I ever get a chance to talk to Nomura, I will ask Nomura myself, and I will be like, can you confirm, were you serious about the music thing or nah? Was that like a joke? Did you really want to turn Final Fantasy Versus 13 into a musical? I have to know. I have to know. I'm going to ask him, dude. If I can get within 5 feet of Nomura, I'm going to ask him, like, was that for real? And then let's go on. What about from a gameplay perspective, from my viewpoint, obviously you're reacting and thinking about current trends and stuff like that a little bit more than you are from story with story from game to game. So Rebirth is quite different from Remake, and I sort of expect the third game will be different again. Have you been thinking about, in the broad overall structure while making these games, how they will feel for someone who inevitably plays them all back to back in years to come? Hamaguchi says, first of all, this is a great question. Thank you. The difference between the story and the actual gameplay experience we went for, that was indeed quite different in terms of we didn't have a plan from the beginning of the first game what kind of gameplay experience we wanted to do for the subsequent games. I think we've done with the gameplay side of it, which you observantly picked up on it with the question, is that there are different trends people prefer, different things people look for. This is a 10 years of development or more. This is 10 years of development or more. There's a lot of things that are going to change in those 10 years, and people may be looking for a slightly different direction on the gameplay for future games in the series. So the way we generally handle that in terms of the timing and when these decisions were made, the first game was planned out and the development was carried out. And just about the time when we finished setting down the map, we roughly knew exactly where we were with the first game in terms of the gameplay experience and where everything would fit together. We had a good idea of what it would look like. That was when we started thinking about, what do we want to change for the second one? What do I want to add? What do I want to expand upon? What completely new experiences do we want to put in there? That's then very much the same for the third game as well. So when we were wrapping up on getting the basic pattern down for Rebirth, and we understood what the gameplay was going to feel like for that, then I started looking at what new experiences, what kind of emotional impact, etc., that we wanted to put there into the third game. Essentially, it was a process of we started thinking about that while we were in the middle of development of the previous game and wrapping up development of that. Obviously, we had the idea of what the current one, which would be then the previous one, would look, what? That's worded so weird. But obviously, we had an idea of what the current one, which would then be the previous one, would look like when we started work on that. Interesting. Ian, hello. Long time no see, man. Hope you're doing well. Very interesting. So basically, the story is planned out far in advance. They know where they're going with the story, but as each game takes shape, that's when the more finite details become, or I should say the more minute details become more concrete, and they know exactly where they want to head. And especially for, making each game its own unique gameplay experience, obviously as they get closer to working on the game, then that's when all that comes to form, right? So I wouldn't imagine that they already had all the gameplay details wrote out for Rebirth while they were working on Remake. And similarly, I wouldn't imagine that while they were working on Rebirth, they already had every single thing in mind for Part 3. I know that they're trying to simultaneously plan a lot of these, but I'm sure that, as you can imagine, each game takes shape. That's when a lot of the ideas come to fruition, and that's when they start to experiment and realize for sure where they want to head. I really like that they're trying to make each gameplay experience feel new, has helped the games avoid the it barely feels different aspect of sequels lately. Right. I really like God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. But I think God of War 2018 and Ragnarok are closer together than, say, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I would even go as far as saying that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are closer together than Remake and Rebirth in terms of general gameplay structure and how they feel. Remake and Rebirth are actually significantly different experiences, compared to most other video game sequels that we see in the modern era. Like, there is actually quite a substantial difference in terms of the gameplay loop that feels different. Combat feels very different between those two games in a very substantial way, right? Like, it does not feel like they've just plugged in more assets into the game, or like they made certain things just like a little bit better. It does actually feel like a leap in the way that sequels I feel kind of used to. That's kind of a budgeting thing, right? Way cheaper to create a mechanically similar game with different content. Yeah, I mean, that's why doing a direct sequel in general is such an awesome thing from a game development perspective. Because you could just go in there and make a superior version of that game. But in order to get like a big feeling leap from the game, you do have to go in and make some pretty substantial changes, right? In a lot of cases, it's kind of easier to just make a better version of the previous game. But I do feel like Rebirth goes a lot deeper than just trying to make a better version of Remake. Rebirth feels like KH2 compared to KH1, and unlike KH2, I actually like it a lot more than its predecessor. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Like, I mean, just in terms of combat alone, the amount of leap that Rebirth takes from the previous game is, again, incredibly substantial, right? Like, it's something that you feel straight away. Like, within like a minute of touching the controller, you know that this is Rebirth combat and not Remake combat. In my opinion, ironically, Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2, and Yote are all worse than their previous game. I don't think that's an unpopular take. Like, I think that's actually like a general consensus from a lot of people. I liked Ragnarok. I don't think it has like quite the impact of God of War 2018 for sure. But I am a Ragnarok enjoyer for sure. Oh, he also has some more things to say here. Additionally, I think this is something that we haven't actually seen before in game development. The idea that we got an overall story, and then within that story, we've got a certain portion of that story that's going to become one standalone game in its own right, and then be released before we move on. I don't think anyone's ever made games in this way before. So part of the thinking behind that, and I think maybe that's one reason why we're seeing the series be such a success, is because we felt we really had to have that. Is because we felt we really had to have that feeling that the series, as a series, would evolve and change and become a new and exciting and basically keep people's interest. If we didn't do that, if we tried to make 3 of the same game with a continuing story, I think there would be a lot more fans who would drop out and become bored with it if they didn't have that feeling that it was going to continue in a different direction. It's going to change. It's going to be exciting. We don't know what to expect. I feel we have really succeeded with this approach in terms of having to make everything different. Well, not everything, but to try and change it and to show evolution in the games. If you look at it specifically in terms of the actual examples from the first game to the second game, in terms of the overall themes of the game, the first one is obviously a story-driven experience, a very good story-driven experience. If the second one was actually the same and was driven in the same way with the same story-driven approach, then as soon as people play the second game, they would think, well, the third one is going to be a story-driven game as well, and they wouldn't have that feeling of excitement and expectation about what could come next. What you put in there to evolve it, to change it, take it in a different direction. It could have been a lot of different things. What I personally chose, because what I wanted to try that, was decided on a more open world structure to the game. Ultimately, that worked well too. There's this idea that it's basically setting out shop and saying you can expect the game to keep changing, to keep it fresh, and to give you new surprises. It's not just going to fall into the same pattern again. I think we've done 1 and 2, remake and then rebirth, and that kind of works in our favor because people now know they can expect new and exciting things from the third game, which we are working on right now. I'm so very happy that we did that, and I think that was essential, that philosophy of not just planning it all out and making the same all the way through. I think that was really a key part of our success. Please go FF12 for the third game. What does that mean, Lifty? To that aspect of having to turn one story into multiple standalone games, not only is that a fairly new approach, but it has led to some things feeling a bit unfulfilling narratively because it feels so incomplete and they're having to stretch certain things out longer than they may need to be. The greatest strength and the greatest weakness of Final Fantasy VII Trilogy is, in fact, that it is a trilogy. So in a lot of ways, I feel like things are getting increasingly better with each game. And I do expect, 7R3 to be the most fun, most ambitious Final Fantasy game maybe ever released from a gameplay standpoint. I have no doubt that they are probably going to achieve that just based on what they've achieved so far. But yes, the unfortunate aspect of that is that it means that a lot of things with the narrative have to change, right? Because if the game is just 3 games of straight Final Fantasy VII, then, well, at least from the way the developers felt, they thought they would not be able to hold people's interest over the course of a decade with just, oh, hey, this is more FF7 exactly as you know it, presented exactly in the same way that it was. Whether that's true or not, I honestly don't know. I think that there is an argument for both. I think that a lot of people are locked in right now just to see where things are going to go with the story, right? And maybe those people would not be as interested if we knew exactly how the story was going to go. So, but also, too, it means that because the game has to be divided across multiple different parts, it means the story has to be divided across multiple different parts. And dividing it across those different parts means that the pacing of the original game is no longer kept in place. It means that a lot of things have to be done in order to make us think, oh, I didn't see this coming. I wonder where this is going to go, but then also not go so far off the deep end that they can't pull it back and it not be FF7 anymore, or it basically be FF7-2 outright and do all those sorts of things. So they have to have a balancing act. And I do understand how, for many people, that balance can make you feel like nothing is happening, right? But truthfully, everything that happens in Rebirth, I mean, not everything, but the general overarching story that happens in Rebirth is basically what happens in Final Fantasy VII, from Calm all the way to the death of Aerith, right? Like that's like, that's literally what happens. And they added like a ton more stuff. And then there are still some people that will go and play it and feel like, well, not enough happened. But that's because, they had to like cut that part of Final Fantasy VII out. And it is kind of a slower narrative part. And it works in the context of FF7 OG. But it can leave that feeling, for some people as its own full video game. Right? It doesn't feel like it has like this substantial thing that moves the plot forward. So that's why some people might say they feel like, nothing happened. That's just like part of the balancing act of doing this. And, there's probably an argument in there that it probably should have been 2 games then, so that some of this could have been avoided. Um, I don't know if that's necessarily wrong or not, but so far so good. I'm excited for the third part and seeing what they're gonna do. But obviously, for the third part of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Part 3 is going to have to hit the ground running because there is so much stuff to cover, both from the original game and all the new stuff that they added. I imagine that Part Three's pacing is going to be insane. It needs to like hit the ground running and immediately start going into everything. I don't think that there's a single second to waste in Part 3. I think it has to immediately be locked in to the story and to begin tying up a lot of these plot threads. Tyler, hello. Welcome to the stream, man. It makes me worry that they're going to chop stuff. I don't think that they're going to chop stuff, but I do think that a lot of stuff will probably tie into each other. So I think that if some people felt that Rebirth didn't really have any plot progression, my worry on the other side of that would be people feeling like 7R3 is just nonstop gas, like in possibly a negative way. But I would hope not. But I do think that it should be a fairly like, oh my god, everything is happening at once type game. But I hope that doesn't feel rushed. That's essentially what I'm getting at. I don't want them to feel like that. Yeah, as subtext says, I'm less concerned about chopping stuff and I'm more concerned about rushing stuff. Yeah, exactly. Subtext. Like, I don't want it to feel like we're going through stuff so fast and it's just such a breakneck speed that things are getting skipped over. That it feels like the opposite of how many people felt with Rebirth, where they didn't feel like enough was happening, that so much starts happening so fast with no room to breathe, that it feels like the resolution for many of these arcs don't really come to a satisfying conclusion. That would be my concern for 7R3. I don't think that's going to be a problem, but I don't know. Because again, just off the top of my head, we have the Zack stuff, we have the Wutai stuff, we have the Glenn stuff, the weapons. We got also just like the whole, like the rest of like Final Fantasy VII as we know it playing out. There's the tear in the sky. There is the worlds. I know it's contentious to talk about the worlds because some people interpret the worlds as a multiverse. Some people are like, the worlds are just like a big pool of dreams in the live stream, and it's not actually like worlds. It's like whatever the fuck, man. That thread has to wrap up. Whatever is going on with Aerith also has to wrap up. The rip in the sky, which I guess is also related to the worlds. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, he just goes into porting stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't even know this was in there. Final Fantasy 17. Okay, let's talk about this. We're at the time, but I just wanted to say I could talk to you about design for hours, but I want to finish up about asking about a bit about you, really. You become a very important figure for Square Enix and for Final Fantasy, and therefore to RPGs in Japan in general. But your most famous work at this stage is obviously adapting something which already exists. So I'm curious to know, you're looking down the sights on finishing part 3. Do you have things that you want to make from scratch Originally at this stage, are you thinking about that much? Oh, this is the Final Fantasy 17 question, chat. Hamaguchi says, I'm on guard now because I know these kinds of questions. Nah, bro. Hamaguchi said, I know that clickbait ass Night Sky Prince is gonna make a video about this, bro. All I have to do is just say, like, yeah, I'm working on a new game. And then there he goes. Final Fantasy 17 Hamaguchi confirmed. He's like, nah, I ain't answering. My guard is up. Bro is trying to parry the question. You can't do this. You can't do this to me, Hamaguchi. FF7 teased. I know. It's my fault. It's not your. He says, I'm on guard now because I know these kinds of questions. It's not your question. It's not your fault. If I answer these in the wrong way, people are going to misinterpret this, and it'll go around the world and end up with quite a misunderstanding. The forum thread saying, this is Final Fantasy 17. Yes. He knows. Hamaguchi laughed. Yeah. So I think looking at the trends in the game industry and what's gone up before until now, very much the core of gaming, what's supported in the industry, what has been the bread and butter has been, you might call them premium games. Like high quality, rich experiences. There's various genres of various levels of popularity, things like RPGs, action games, shooting games, but it's generally been those rich single player storytelling styles of games that have been in some ways the core of gaming up till now. So what I really feel is, again, maybe we're talking about the last 5 years, maybe pushing to the last 10 years, although Tim seems a bit long for us. I think one of the big trends that we've seen is a changeover, maybe not a changeover, but certainly an equal rise in the popularity of service-based games. The idea that this isn't a solo play experience, you play on your own, this is more of a collaborative and cooperative experience. A game played with other people where you share that gaming experience. That kind of game and that kind of approach to gaming has really grown in at least 5, maybe 10 years. So yeah, this is not just limited to the next Final Fantasy VII Remake, the last part of the series. I spend a lot of time thinking about what I want to make in the future, what kind of games I'd like to do. I do keep coming back to this idea that I think those kinds of live elements in games, if done right, will be very important in the future. There's a lot of people who are looking for those kinds of things in games. However, having said all that, I think we're also kind of seeing a reverse trend starting up at the moment as well. I do believe there's a lot of things that kind of live games can do in the way that you communicate with and link with other people in the game. That facilitates the kinds of experience that can be had in that environment. But I think we're starting to see in a lot of regions around the world, people looking and they're maybe getting a bit fatigued, a bit tired of these kinds of live service model games. And they're maybe looking for more traditional premium games. They want to play something on their own, maybe with a story, not having to worry about dealing with other people. I certainly see this in Europe, in America, also very much in Southeast Asia, in China especially. I think we're starting to see a reverse trend going on here as well. Ultimately, I'm not going to answer the question, so sorry about that. Have a good one, Master Key. I love how bro is like, we're in like 5 paragraphs deep, and he's like, I'm not answering the question. Dog, we're already like paragraphs deep in. Ultimately, I'm not going to answer the question. So sorry about that. There's a lot of things I'm thinking about in terms of where I want to take my creative talents next. I'll have to factor in all that in there and see what comes out on the other end. But for the moment, nothing I can say. Black Lion Card, that's so funny. People like live service games, but they also don't like live service games. That's my answer. Holy shit. Yo, man. Yo, he was like, live service games are the trend now. That's what people are into. But also, people are getting tired of that shit, so I probably won't do it. What? That's awesome. I love that. That's so Kino. Oh, man. What a great response, dude. For a second, like, because, like, your stomach is clenched, like, right here, right? In this paragraph, you're like, oh, God, no. Is he going to make slop? Is he going to do the slop thing? And then he gets down here and he's like, yeah, but people are getting tired of that shit. So I don't know, man. That was a roller coaster to nowhere. I know. I feel like we got on a roller coaster and then like, yeah, we just like it just like went in like a straight loop for a minute and then we just stopped. It didn't even like, yeah. I think after 1,000 interviews, he's just kind of thinking out loud. I know. I know. But this is a really funny question. What the fuck was the original question even about? I'm wary of time, and I just want to say, oh yeah, he was just asking like after finishing part three, do you have things that you want to make from scratch at this stage? Are you thinking about it? That's so funny. Final Fantasy 17 will be a parody of a live service game. That's funny. I mean, technically, we've already had like a live service offline Final Fantasy ish. I mean, FF15 was kind of a service game, right? Because, I mean, there was the DLC, there was the online multiplayer, there was supposed to be a second season of DLC. So I do feel like to some degree, like the first live service offline Final Fantasy was 15. Or maybe I should say not offline, but the first live service non MMO Final Fantasy might have been 15. And it was successful. FF15 sold a lot. I think he's trying to say that it's up to gamers to decide what they want, and that will influence what they make. Yeah, for sure. The thing is, though, is that I personally believe that they are likely already working on something. I think he has a good idea of what he is creating. I've talked at length that essentially I do believe that it is Final Fantasy 17. I don't know that for a fact. But judging on where things currently are, I would say it makes the most sense. I was right in calling that CS3 would be the ones developing Final Fantasy 16 back in the day. And my current bet is that I think CS1 is making Final Fantasy 17. Yeah, we're going to play Trails in the Sky. I'm not going to, yeah, the whole stream. We may only get to play like 2-ish hours, but we're going to play. Let's think about this. He mentioned live service games, so Foam Stars 2. Fuck yeah, brother. Do you think CS1 has too much on their plate? They must be a huge team compared to the other creative studios. I assume that Creative Studio One is their biggest studio where most of their money goes into. And the reason is because Creative Studio One is essentially at the top of the Creative Studio hierarchy in terms of investment and like where they put like basically that kind of makes like the final basically CS1 is the studio behind like uh most of the Final Fantasy games mainline now and Kingdom Hearts, right? So my assumption is that they get quite a bit of staff and they get quite a bit of money to do whatever they want to do, right? And it's where all of their legacy creatives mostly are. I mean, legacy like Final Fantasy creatives. They kind of like spearhead stuff like Nomura, Kitase. Basically, CS1 is tantamount to Squaresoft, if I was like to put it simply. Like that's like the most Squaresoft legacy division, more or less. Not to say that the other creative studios aren't as Squaresoft. You know what the fuck I mean. Will we ever see Cage 4 at this rate? Cage 4 is not real, brother. Please enjoy Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 8. Imagine having 1 hour inside their studio, the things we would see. I would go. Well, I was gonna say I would go to like a computer and like Control F versus 13, but like they probably already deleted versus 13. Judging by like how like data is like kept from like past projects. I'm sure that they don't. I'm sure they still have like that stuff, but like but yeah. That's like the only thing I'd really like if I like could be a fly on the wall type thing, like figure out like stuff. Like that's like the only thing I'd really want to know. It's just what happened. Oh yeah, I forgot that unreality is a thing now in Kingdom Hearts. What the fuck? You say that, but they lost Vagrant Story in FF8. I mean, yeah. I would understand if they lost like a smaller game like Urzageist or whatever it's called, but like losing like FF7 and 8 and shit, that's just crazy, man. Versus 13 is in the deepest, most protected parts of their servers. I know. Motherfuckers are whining about Cage 4. Meanwhile, DQ fans, where's DQ 12? Brother, there's so much DQ content always happening. You're fine. Go play Dragon Quest 1 and 2. You're good, bro. Chill out. Cage fans are legitimately starved. Like, legitimately. There is no Cage content right now. Like, not even like a remake or anything. So I would love live elements in the gold saucer for part 3. Um Honestly, bro, if they wanted to do any type of live service element for Final Fantasy VII, what they should have done is made the first soldier an actual multiplayer mode for Final Fantasy VII Remake rather than making it like a thing for mobile. That would have been a bigger move, a more powerful play to me. Like if FF7 Remake Intergrade came with a multiplayer mode or it was a multiplayer DLC that you could download separately and you can play that across platforms and there was constantly FF7 content coming to it and it felt like a way for people who had already invested in the remake to keep engaged with it while the other parts came out. That would have been cooler than like the game that we got from the first Soldier. I would not be surprised if we got KH1 remake later down the line. It's gonna happen. It's like inevitable. I don't think that it's just really a question of when. But everything that can ever be remade is going to be remade. Everything that I thought like, oh, that's not going to get a remake has gotten a remake. I feel like Xenogears will get a remake or a remaster or some type of re-release even at some point. Like I feel like everything is going to figure it out its licensing. In fact, remakes might actually be the thing that allow that allow some of the stuff stuck in licensing limbo to finally get like sorted out because everyone wants to remake that shit. So, I feel like it will get a remake and like everything else will get a remake. Dude, here's the thing about remakes, right? Like remakes, you can just get some other studio to make them. You don't even have to do it with your internal staff. And because of that, you can have a ton of remakes in development. Right? Like you can have multiple remakes in simultaneous development. And you can just keep pumping them out. And they're so much faster to make, right? Bear in mind, we are going to have remakes of Persona 3 and 4 before we get Persona 6. But will they be good? I'm be real. Like to some extent, it kind of doesn't matter. So long as they aren't like atrocious or like offensive to like the source material and they are a good enough remake of whatever it's trying to be, passable enough for most new fans to give them a try. I think that's probably all that matters, right? But also, no remakes are good or bad. It's just like people with remakes are like, I feel like remakes can never be good, quote unquote. Everyone wants a remake, but nobody wants to deal with a remake, right? Like the thing is that you can never satisfy everyone with the remake. Remakes are always going to be contentious. There are some people that are always going to feel like you fucking ruined it, and then there are going to be people who feel like this is like the thing that this is the true version of the game. This is what the game was always meant to be. This is the game at the highest point. And I have not really seen a remake that has not had that contention. Maybe the only one that I have seen is Trails, which we're going to be playing in a bit. But, for most other remakes, it's always contentious. Always. And people are always like, oh, dude, this is not what we signed up for. This is not like the remake that we wanted. You changed like this one small detail and now the whole presentation of the game is fucking ruined. And in some cases that is agreeably true. And in some cases it's fucking bullshit and it's nuts. And like, what are people going on about? But it's just like, you can't capture every single thing that everyone valued about the original art. You can't. No matter how perfect of a remake. And really the only way you can actually do it is to just literally make a carbon copy of the original game just with better visuals. But even if you do that, people are going to look at the better visuals and be like, oh, but are the better visuals actually better, sweetie? Are they really better? Because I think you took the fucking soul out of the game now, and now it's fucking soulless. And so, you know what I'm saying? Or like, you're like, okay, we're gonna take the fucking MIDI soundtrack and we're gonna make it like fully orchestral. And then everyone's like, okay, yeah, but the soul is gone now. It doesn't sound like that. And I want you to keep in mind, I'm not above this. I'm not above this. I like the Final Fantasy VII Re-Trilogy soundtrack a lot, but I still don't think it's as good as the OG soundtrack. I'm sorry, I don't. I still like the OG soundtrack more. And don't get me wrong, I think Re-Trilogy soundtrack is one of the best video game soundtracks ever made, period. But I still like OG more. And I'm still like, I still listen to some tracks and I'm still like, yeah, but OG fucking clears. This is a 10 out of 10, but OG is like a 20 out of 10. Sorry. And it's like, but that's always the thing though, right? Is that like, I'm the guy that really found like the way Uematsu would use the synth on the PS1 to be like really compelling. And I love the way those tracks sound and the atmosphere that was made from those tracks. And you know, to the next guy, he's like, well, the orchestral version actually, you know, uses real instruments. It was always meant to sound like this Hollywood grand sound. And sometimes that is the case. Sometimes their actual intention was to do the thing that they did in the remake. And then fans are like, I hate this. I really valued the thing that you came up with because at the time you're working around technical constraints. I had a friend say with his whole chest that Demon Souls Remake is soulless because of the visuals, even though it's literally better than the PS3 version. I mean, I see that all the time about Demon Souls Remake, right? At the time when Demon Souls Remake came out, everyone was like, this is a gold standard remake. And it's very interesting that as over time, people look at like the lore of stuff and like how that was kind of changed in presentation because of that, they're like, it's a bad remake. And I've also seen it with Persona 3 Reload, right? Which I think that like a lot of the stuff that people complain about with Persona 3 Reload is just like, is just absurd, right? Like it's not as big of a deal for most new people. Most of the new people playing the game are not going to care about that. And like most of like the diehards are still like, it's just like, it's whatever. Like they're valid points, but it's just that most of the people playing this are not going to give a fuck. And I'm going to be honest. I think that remakes are more important for new fans coming into a game than they are for established fans of a series. I do. I think that it is more important to have remakes for future generations, for people who didn't play the original versions, to have an updated version of the game, than it is for you to relive your childhood. I know that's a hot take. I know a good remake should strive to be both, you know, so that you can relive your childhood and also new generations can pick up the game and play it and enjoy it. But yeah, it's really more about that new audience and more about the new people than it is about, to me at least, than it is about kind of like just, are the old heads happy? Are the purists happy? I do think it's more about the newer generation, right? Because like with Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example, I can always go play Final Fantasy VII, right? Like I can always enjoy Final Fantasy VII. But the thing is that like, can you show someone right now who's 19, can you show that 19-year-old Final Fantasy VII OG and they play it? Probably not. And so if you do want to have Final Fantasy VII playable to them, you do have to have a remake, a good remake that can appeal to them and show them the importance of the story in the game. And I think that the importance of remakes is more about that. Now, I would also agree that that doesn't mean that you can change everything, and that doesn't mean that, like, you know, say some of the criticisms of 7R are invalid just simply because of that. Don't get me wrong, but it is just to say that I do think that, say, that 19-year-old coming and playing FF7 is probably more important than me just getting to relive my quote-unquote childhood. But that's also kind of an argument that of the preservation of some of the story elements too, though. So that kind of goes both ways, right? Like that's kind of like also an argument that, hey, maybe we shouldn't change stuff because I think that, or change too much because that newer generation also needs to experience what we experienced, but just in a newer, updated form. Just look at Sarah Key. She played Trails in the Sky remake, and now she's playing OG. I mean, that's like a huge benefit of remakes is that people actually do go play the OG if they love the game. They really do. In the case of something like Trails, I think that a lot of people are going to end up going and playing the original Trails because they liked the game and they don't want to wait for the next part to come out. Where the fuck is okay? They don't want to wait for second chapter to come out, right? They want to play Trails right now. And that's awesome. So those people are going to get into the original games as well. Even I'm like, like extremely like debating like, damn, I'm loving this game so much. Do I want to go straight into second chapter, or do I want to wait for the remake, right? So that's been like a really tough choice for me. I do think for at least the Sky arc, I am going to continue with the remakes just because I'm having such a great time with this. Like this is just like such an incredible game to me. And I do kind of like want to continue to experience the characters like this. So why isn't my, oh, there it goes. I was like, why isn't my controller working? Okay, so last time we left off, I did all the side quests. So we're just main story questing now, chat. We're on the story. I can't decide if I want to play Trails, DQ1, or Octopath next.
So this is the Royal Academy.
I would say Trails out of all those, probably personally.
This place feels so calm and peaceful. It's great.
It's quiet, too. It must be an ideal place for studying.
That's just because everyone's in class right now. But as soon as classes end, it'll get noisy in no time. Especially with the festival coming up.
That makes sense. So everyone really is busy with preparations.
Exactly. I'd like to introduce you to the Student Council President, but sadly she's in class as well.
Worth letting chat know who may be new to Falcom as a company. In a week or so, they have their annual shareholders meeting, which is where we see how well their games are doing and their upcoming games set to release next year. Do they actually release their sales, Crossy, for their games?
So, I'll show you how to get to the headmaster's office for now.
Like Capcom and CDPDR do?
Yes. We're going to the office of Headmaster Collins, the man who oversees the Royal Academy. You'll find it on the right, at the far end of the main building on the first floor. Mm-hmm. Got it.
All right, then let's go say hello to the headmaster first.
I wouldn't expect anything less from the prestigious Royal Academy. The garden is gorgeous.
The custodian takes good care of it. I help out a little sometimes, too.
That must make it an even better place for the students.
All right, bottom of the first floor. Hello, Headmaster Collins. I've returned.
Ah, welcome back, Chloe. And these young folks are?
Nice to meet you, sir. We're from the Bracer Guild.
Oh, impressive indeed. To be bracers already at your age. I heard news of a fire at the orphanage. Was that what brought you here?
Well, actually, Chloe explained the current situation, including the details of the arson.
I see. That is truly terrible to hear. I wish there were more we could do to help. For now, we will have to put our all into making sure that they will have a grand time at the festival. Everything begins somewhere.
I've seen some ads around for this game, I think. How does it play? It plays fucking awesome, actually. I agree. And for the play, I was thinking of having Estelle and Joshua here assist us.
That's a wonderful idea. Estelle, Joshua, we are counting on you.
Oh, of course. We'll do our very
I've
best.
entrusted all matters of the play to our student council president, Jill. She is directing it as well, so you will need to speak to her for details. And on my end, I'll arrange your accommodation in the dormitory.
Huh? The dormitory?
Indeed. There is precious little time until the festival, after all. Most likely you will need to practice well into the night. Thus, you will need somewhere to stay, will you not?
Oh, I get it now. That would be a big help.
Oh, it's almost time for classes to end. Chloe, why don't you introduce the bracers to Jill?
Estelle, Joshua, I'll show you the way to the student council room next. They have a room up on the right side of the second floor. Right, let's get headed over.
Whoa, there are even more students now.
It's always this lively once classes are finished.
Oh, wait. Wait, this at the right side? I assume when facing the staircase, the right side of the second floor? But no, none of these are... Let me see. Did I not pay attention? I guess not. Let me see then. Chloe, you're back. Let's play going along. I see. Well, let's do our best. Back, Chloe. Interesting. Where is it at? Okay, maybe we have to go outside. Other building? Oh. Okay. Other building. Oh. Of this building.
Shopping list for the festival.
Appreciate you.
Who are they?
Are you hungry?
They'll be helping us.
Time for
Oh.
some shopping.
Take your time to
I'll
choose.
pick you.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good. Let's get a couple of those.
Festival and
Seems like we're attracting some attention.
Yep.
Okay.
Kinda puts me on edge.
I'm swamped. Inspect the stalls. Check. Budget allocation. Good. And all the invitations have been sent out just fine.
So the only thing left is the play, right? At this rate, you think we'll end up having to do it ourselves?
Well, me maybe, but you're off the table. Remember how horrifying you looked during the costume fitting?
Don't remind me. It haunts me in my dreams.
Jill, Hans, I'm back.
Chloe? We heard about the fire. How completely awful.
Are the matron and the kids all right?
No,
Yes.
they burned to death.
Thankfully, everyone is safe. But the orphanage building was completely burned down.
I see.
Chin up. There's nothing to gain from worrying. We've got to focus on making this festival one those kids will never forget.
Mm-hmm. That was what Matron Teresa told me too. I'm going to give it my all.
At your best, you're as good as 100 people. I'm counting on you. By the way, I've been dying to ask you. Just who might these two be?
Nice to meet you. My name's Estelle.
I'm Joshua. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, so you're the bracers Chloe was talking about.
I brought them, just as promised. And they both said they'd be happy to help.
Thank goodness, that's a relief. Nice to meet you, Estelle and Joshua. I'm Jill Ridnor, the Student Council President. And also the director of this here play.
And the
And
dominant
I'm the
of
Vice
Shiva.
President, Hans. I'm in charge of the script and stage direction. Nice to meet you both.
Likewise.
Looking forward to working with you.
Anyway,
Yes?
I mean, I expected it from a bracer, but you sure do look like the athletic type. Estelle, do you know how to fight with a sword?
Yeah, I'm decent enough, I guess. My specialty is with the staff, but I've learned a bit of sword fighting from my dad, too.
Perfect! Then it's settled. You're going to have a one-on-one
When does the
sword
god
fight
killing
with Chloe.
start? I think in the second
one-on-one
game.
sword fight?
I want to say.
For the play, of course.
In the climax, there's a duel between two knights. It's supposed to be an impactful scene that brings the finale to life. But unfortunately, none of the girls are as skilled as Chloe. This girl even took out the guys at the fencing tournament, after all.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, by the way, her opponent in the finals was
You're so
none
right on
other
the
than our
DQ11
very own
comparisons to this game.
Hans.
Yeah.
Yeah, no need to rub it in. But look, I'm no pushover.
I feel like everyone who
Chloe's just in a
enjoyed
league of her
like
own.
DQ11, I think if they check out this game, they'll really like it. Like anyone who likes, if you like DQ11, and honestly, while it's not quite the same gameplay, I mean, it's turn-based. I also think Persona fans would probably like be into this. I think the Trail series just needs like that one game that kind of like exposes it to a broader audience. I think this is kind of, you know, a really great start to that, but like, you know, just playing this game, I'm like, dang, how is this not more popular than it is, you know?
I may be good, but only for a student. I don't think I could even come close to a professional like Estelle.
Oh, come on. You're just being modest. But if that's the case, I think I can help out a bit. Let's do our best together, Chloe.
A question
Right.
we've been asking
I'm
for
looking
years,
forward
yeah.
to it.
Well, because like the answer to that for me previously would just be like, oh, I think that, you know, the presentation probably isn't pretty enough for like people to gravitate toward it, but I think that they've slowly scaled up, and now this is like a really great looking game. Again, I would say it looks about as good as Dragon Quest XI to me, right? Obviously, the cutscenes and stuff don't have like the production values that something like DQ11 has, but like visually, it's about as good. But you know, it's so I think it has the presentation value now. It just needs that one thing that really gains traction in the gaming sphere, and then I think Trails will blow up.
Even so, it's not every day you see a play featuring a duel between two female knights.
Female knights? They're both going to play bona fide male knights.
What?
And as for Joshua, I have absolutely no criticisms. He's pretty much the perfect specimen.
Are they gonna make
Yeah,
Joshua be
I
a
hate to
girl?
admit it, but I agree.
Uh-huh.
So about this play, what's the story like?
Joshua's
It's
gonna
called
be like the
Magical
princess or
of the White
something?
Flower.
That'd
It's
be
a
so
famous
funny.
story set in the royal capital around the time the nobility system was abolished. Two knights, one of noble birth and the other a simple commoner, compete for the love of a royal princess.
Yeah, actually, I played the original Tokyo Xanadu because I was like, oh, this is like a Persona-like game. And I thought it was really cool.
But despite their social standings, all three are childhood friends. However, the schemes and intrigues of the noble and common factions come into play. Well, it has an unquestionably happy ending, though.
That sounds like a nice story.
So, why are the girls playing the male roles?
That's the unique and exciting twist for this year's school festival. We're going to gender switch the roles.
I knew
You're
it.
switching roles between the boys and girls?
Final Fantasy VII too. It's here. The true sequel to FF7. It was never the remake games, brothers. It was always Trails in the Sky.
Wow, I'm surprised the teachers
Let's
actually
go.
allowed that.
We must break free from sexism, liberation from gender roles. I spun up a bunch of reasons like that and pushed it through. To be very honest, I only wanted to do this because it sounded fun.
Oh man, there's like a joke I want to make about this taking place in the country of liberal, but I think you can fill it in yourself. I'm surprised culture warriors aren't more mad about this.
Oh, Jill.
You know the world's going downhill when someone like her is student council president.
It does sound pretty fun, though.
Hold on. Judging from that context, this major role you're asking me to play is...
You're a real lifesaver, man.
Thanks, Chloe. You sure found us some good ones.
I'm very sorry, Joshua.
So this is the costume, huh? You said I'd be playing a knight, so I thought I'd be wearing armor or something.
It's hard to do all the acting and combat with full armor, so no. We decided to base them off the Royal Guard outfit instead.
Ah, I see. With Chloe's short hair, she really does look the part.
Wait, when did Sky first come out?
Thank you very much. It looks wonderful on you too, Estelle.
You think so? Anyway, why are our outfits different colors?
2004? Oh, okay.
I'm playing Oscar the Azure Knight, a commoner. You're playing Julius the Crimson Knight, a noble. Our outfits represent the distinct color schemes of each faction.
Oh, I get it now. So that means Joshua is...
The White Princess who cherishes the two knights, Her Highness Cecilia. Now, Princess, this way, please.
Wait a second. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
Yo! 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 Bro! Bro!
Could someone please say something?
No. Like, he is like stunning on them right now. He is so...
I don't
This
think
is
I can
awesome.
bear this silence any longer.
Wow. I mean, you...
He's a pretty girl.
You look like a real princess!
I'm amazed.
Oh.
You look so beautiful.
Yeah, hold your head high, man.
It's so funny because I feel like Estelle and Chloe just look normal. But then Joshua.
If I didn't know it was you, I'd probably try and hit on you.
I appreciate your honesty. Not that I'm happy to hear it.
I knew I was right.
And you know she's a Fujoshi. Like, the vibe is just there.
With this casting, there's no doubt the play will appeal to a
Those
wide
glasses, the glare on those glasses, brother, you just know.
audience. All right, guys, let's do our best and make this the best stage play ever.
Yeah!
From that night on, Estelle and Joshua stayed in the girls' and boys' dormitories separately.
Well then, Estelle, please, take the bed by the doorway.
Will do. So, you and Jill are roommates, huh? No wonder you two are so close.
We've been close ever since we entered the academy.
I'd say we're roommates and inseparable. For better or for worse. By the way, Estelle, I have a suggestion.
What is it?
Why don't you just enjoy student life while you're here, instead of thinking of it as a job as a bracer? I don't think it'll hurt to let loose while you're here. And I'll treat you like a fellow student. That'll be easier for me, too.
You know, that actually sounds like a good idea.
In that case, I'd like to request that you treat me as a peer as well. I think that would feel more natural for the both of us.
Oh, really? Well then, if you guys insist. I think I'll have fun while I can. I'm looking forward to being your temporary roommate.
Yes, likewise.
It's just us girls here, so feel free to make yourself at home. So long as we're in here, there's not a single guy to worry about.
That said, there's nothing admirable about being sloppy.
You're such a goody two-shoes. Always acting all prim and proper.
How rude. Well, naughty girls like you don't get any baked treats.
Oh no, I was kidding!
So slight character spoilers for the Cold Steel games, but this whole Fujoshi schoolgirl bit goes further. In Cold Steel 1, you can follow the story of two girls setting up a literature club that involves reading boys' love stories across and across Cold Steel games. She actually becomes a published boys' love author herself. That's so awesome. Holy fuck. I love
Lady
that.
Chloe, I beg you forgive my impertinent disrespect.
Estelle entering her sorority girl
I
era.
require
Yeah.
you to deeply reflect on your actions. Huh?
Something wrong, Estelle? You're totally staring at us.
Oh, I think I was feeling a little jealous.
Jealous?
I mean, I have close friends back in Roland, too. But we mostly just stay over at each other's houses. I was just thinking how nice it'd be to live together, too.
What do you think of that, Chloe?
How should I put this? I find it a little hard to understand why Estelle is jealous of us.
Huh?
I know, right? It's like, seriously, the hell's this girl on about?
What? Why?
Listen here, you. Do you realize who you've been traveling with this whole time? I mean, you literally lived in the same house together, right?
Oh.
Wait
Oh,
a
God.
second. Are you talking about Joshua?
Are we thirsting
of
over
course.
Joshua, girls? Is that what's
parading
happening
around
here?
with one of the finest specimens to ever grace our academy, and you're jealous of us?
Okay, yep,
You
that's
know,
what's happening.
There are thirsty girls in all-female dorms dying for company like that.
Yo! Yo! Yo, bro, she said we out here barking. We out here barking?
Oh, please. Josh was like a brother to me, okay? We've been living together like family for years now.
Oh, like family, did you say? That might be how you feel, but can you say the same for Joshua, too?
Huh?
I heard that it's difficult for teenage boys to control themselves. Especially if they've got a natural, healthy beauty like you nearby. Who knows what he's going through?
Dog. Dog.
Jill, that's enough.
Dog.
I'm very sorry, Estelle. Jill has a bad habit of teasing others when she gets excited.
Hey, come on! What do you mean, bad habit?
Am I wrong?
You're not.
Come on, don't scare me like that. That's impossible. There's no way Joshua would feel...
Oh, someone's feeling self-conscious.
Jill!
Whoops, almost forgot. I have to go submit the daily report before bed. Good night, girls. Don't worry about waiting up for me.
Goodness. Oh, Estelle. If it's okay with you, I'd be happy to lend you a pair of my pajamas. Estelle?
Huh? Oh, pajamas. Right. Thanks. I'll take whatever you got.
The girls are talking about Joshua the way I talk about Fox Mask and Silent Hill. That's funny. Oh, man. Waking up surrounded by friends of the same age, they head off to class together. The funny thing is that even though this writing could have come off as exaggerated anime cringe, we've all been dumb teenagers. Dumb teenagers do talk like this. They are fucking cringe. This is good writing, IMO. Actually, I feel like the way they're talking is like less, quote, anime cringe than like even something like Persona, which is more popular than this. I feel like there's definitely like way deeper levels of anime cringe that I've heard, and this just didn't feel like anime cringe. It just legitimately felt like teenagers being teenagers. I mean, hell, I've even heard people in like their early 20s like really talking like this too. So yeah, it just didn't feel like. It didn't feel that tropey, actually. It just felt like, you know, like that's just how it is. And generally speaking, like to this game, I feel like say like when I first started playing it, I was like, oh, okay, a lot of anime tropes here, whatever. And then I think as I got deeper into it, I was like, actually, this game doesn't feel like as tropey as I thought it was going to be. Like it could have been a lot more tropey. Like, you know, here is like your anime slop dialogue and stuff like that. And then I was really surprised that it just didn't end up feeling like that most of the way. If anything, I would say that, I mean, a lot of the dialogue is campy, but it's like just really easy to consume, and it's usually funny and very enjoyable. So, yeah, I like it.
My friend, so it has come to this. It was always fated that we would one day settle this as rivals. Draw your blade for the burdens each of us bears. And for the princess we cherish above all.
Destiny is a path carved
Later
by
games
one's
do get
own
tropier.
hand.
Oh no.
My solemn duty.
We'll get there when we get there.
The
Right now,
princess
though,
is
I don't feel
smiling.
that way about Sky.
Both seem so distant now.
Have you lost your nerve, Oscar?
But what is this raging passion that burns through my soul? It seems I, too, can scarcely resist the urge to face you with all my might. Before the tempest, a revolution consumes all in its path. Let fate be decided by the sword!
Oh, may the goddess of the sky bear witness to the souls of us both. Come, let us duel.
Aye.
Woohoo! Finally got it! No mistakes!
It was such a powerful performance.
But I'm still no match for you, Chloe. You almost never mess up your lines, do you?
I've been reviewing the script for quite some time now. But I'm only just catching up to your sword skills, Estelle. Thank you very much for the extra lessons.
Oh, no problem. I mean, you've already got the basics. Honestly, I bet you could pass the bracer test in no time if you wanted to.
You flatter me. Tomorrow is the big day, at last. I hope Matron Teresa and the children will enjoy the play.
You really care about them, don't you? They're just like family. Oh, sorry. Was that rude?
No, it's not that. You're exactly right, Estelle. The one who taught me the importance of family was Matron Teresa, after all. I lost both my parents soon after I was born.
What?
I was taken in by wealthy relatives, so I lived a life without hardship. But I never knew what a family was. Until that day, 10 years ago, when I met Matron Teresa and Mr. Joseph.
10 years ago? Do you mean during the 100-Day War?
Yes, I happened to be in Ruan then. While fleeing from the Imperial Army, I got separated from everyone I knew. That was when Matron Teresa and her husband, Mr. Joseph, took me in.
So that's how you know them.
It was only for a few months, until the war ended and my relatives came to pick me up. But Matron Teresa and Mr. Joseph treated me so kindly. And that was how I learned just what having a mother and father means to a child. And I learned how warm a home with family could feel.
Chloe.
My apologies. I didn't mean to bore you going on and on like that.
No, not at all. Let's do our absolute best to make tomorrow's play a hit.
Yes.
It might be bad luck saying this, but I just know it's going to go well. Jill and Hans worked so hard on it too.
Yes, that is very true. But more than anyone else, I think the true star of the show is Joshua. I never knew he was such a wonderful actor.
Yeah. He looked so reluctant at first, but he totally gets the role, doesn't he?
His voice projection, his delivery, they're nothing short of professional. Does he have experience with stage acting?
Honestly, I don't really know much about his life before I met him. Whatever happened to him, he never seems to want to talk about it.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Dang.
I
I'm so
shouldn't take
curious to
pride.
know about Joshua's backstory.
Don't worry about it. But I gotta say, Joshua's the type of guy who's good at everything.
Yeah, he seems like it.
Seriously, he's always unfazed and relaxed. He never acts cute at all. Well, I guess he does get flustered every now and then, though. What's wrong?
I wonder if it would have been better if our roles were reversed.
Huh?
I mean, Julius and Oscar. I just feel like you would have been a better Oscar than me.
Huh? Why? I mean, sure. I think playing Oscar would be easier for me than a noble like Julius, but...
No, that's not what I meant. I'm referring to the end of the play.
Oh! The part where the princess and Oscar...
Oh.
Yes.
Joshua's one lucky guy, isn't he? Or, wait, Chloe, do you mean you're uncomfortable doing it?
No, not at all.
Is there like a kiss at the end of the play or
I just feel
something?
a little bad for you two.
Or...
Oh, please. You're starting to sound like Jill. I'm pretty sure Joshua only sees me as a troublesome little sister.
You really think so?
He and Dad are always treating me like I'm a little kid. Honestly, it's so annoying. Anyway, you've got absolutely nothing to worry about, okay?
I understand.
Ah, there you are.
Joshua!
You're here too, Hans?
The rehearsal's over. Were you two still practicing? That's some serious dedication.
How's the duel coming along?
Great! You can count on us. We're going to nail it.
That's great to hear. I'm looking forward to it.
By the way, did you need something? You seem to be looking for us.
Oh, yeah. Today is Estelle and Joshua's last night in the dorms, right? So, we thought we should all have dinner together to get in the mood for tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds great! I'm in.
I'd like to join as well.
By the way, where's Jill?
The headmaster called her to his office just a little while ago. I'll go get her.
I'll come too. Save us some seats in the dining hall.
Sure thing. Let's head to the dining hall then.
Roger that, boss.
I'm not your boss.
Looks like those two are getting along well. I was a little worried, because Joshua usually keeps people at arm's length, but... What's so funny?
No, it's nothing.
Well, alright, we should go get changed. It's a bit embarrassing walking around in our stage costumes.
Oh, you can unlock this costume? That's awesome.
Indeed.
Okay, that's better. Time to go grab Jill.
Yes, let's head to the headmaster's office.
Practice is over, but I still feel like stretching my legs.
I feel a little lightheaded from all the tension and excitement, too. How about we take a walk around the academy to wind down?
Okay. Let's see. There's a couple of things. Oh, what am I to do now? At this rate, the schoolyard won't be decorated in time. The students who were helping me suddenly got too busy. Look at all these empty spaces where decorations haven't been put up yet. That's too bad. Yeah, I see the banner should be in the middle, isn't there? It's definitely not up to snuff. You think so too? So if you find any spots that are missing decorations, let me know. I'll head there and immediately work on it. I think you'll find places like that if you look carefully. So we just have to look for bare spots like this that need sprucing up. Alright, we can do it. We'll let you know if we notice anything. Great. Thank you kindly. Okay. Let's see. Is that inside the building? This subquest? Oh, wait. Or is it... Oh, no, it's outside. Oh, what's wrong? This spot. Wouldn't you say you'd hang a banner here? The door on the opposite side has one. Hey, you're right. We better go tell Mr. Parks about it. Yes, let's do that. You don't get Joshua's dress, though, to the dismay of many. Oh, that sucks. I'm sure there's a mod for that, though. This is pretty obvious. Alright, time for me to get to work. We'll help too. Oh, and thank you kindly. If you don't mind, I'd love a helping hand. Alright, that should do it. If you find anywhere else, you come and let me know. You got it. Understood. that not? Oh, it's on the outside. I think. No? That's interesting. Is there a way out that it could be? No. Huh, what the fuck? Oh wait, no, no. Okay, I don't know what that one is. We'll come back to it. Maybe... something wrong? A flag string missing here? This side has one. Yeah. Yeah, we'll speed through that. Speed right on through. There's a missable optional scene you can find here in the building you met the student council president in. Oh, okay. Interesting. That looks like it's on the inside.
Are you hungry?
It is. Miss Walia is a real beauty, and she gets major points for that easygoing, down-to-earth attitude. But contrast that with Miss Milia's ice-cold glare and her secretly caring nature, it just can't be beaten. There's just something about cool older women with glasses, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not going to argue with that. But if that's how you feel, how about Jill? Whoa, Joshua saying all this? That's crazy. Whoa, I'm not saying that... Well, Joshua's saying some of this. I'm not saying that glasses are all that matters. It's the mature beauty of an older lady that I'm into. Are you blushing? No, I told you, it's not happening. I thought they were getting us seats. Is this what they are up to? Seriously, boys. I never expected Joshua to discuss such things. It caught me a little off guard. Fine, how about you then, Joshua? How far you've gone with Estelle? Oh no. Wait, could it be you've... Sorry to bust your bubble. We haven't done a single thing you're imagining. I'm not sure how to put it, but that's not the kind of relationship we have. Really? Dang, I thought you two looked pretty good together. In that case, how about taking a shot at Chloe? You two had a great chemistry on stage. Not gonna lie, I think you'd be a great pair. What are you even saying? Shall we head for the headmaster's office? Oh, right. We should go and get Jill. Okay. I feel like at least most of the girls I know personally would not leave at this point. That's probably the part where they'd lock in the heaviest and be like, girl, we gotta stay here. But okay. Whatever you say, game. Oh, hi, Chloe. Hello there, Logan. Are you still working on your exhibition project? I'm very close to finishing, but I can't find the materials that would back up my research. Oh, that does sound like a problem. There's an old encyclopedia trilogy called Ruan's Economic History. It seems like it's been taken out of the archives. Have you happened to see it anywhere around the academy? I don't think I've noticed any books like that. Drat. But they have to be somewhere. If you do find them, please tell me. Understood. We'll keep an eye out and definitely bring them back to you if we see them. Ruan's Economic History, Volume 1.
Ruan's Economic History. Chloe, do you know what it's about?
Yes, just a little. We learn about it in class, too.
I don't get it at all.
Are you hungry?
Okay. So then this one, like, definitely... Okay. What the fuck? Why did they put that so close to the door? I think some flags are missing from here. You remember how the other building had flags out front? Oh, you're right. The decoration isn't done here yet, so we can speed through this. We know how this ends. I won't skip it though, just to make sure I don't miss anything. If something important does come up. School festivals. Sounds good, we'll do our best. Okay, cool.
It's so satisfying to see all the decorations finally done.
Yes, the anticipation is palpable.
Interesting. Is it now inside? It is now inside. Okay, that's not confusing. But you know... Okay. Oh, it's the book. Okay, great. We just got one more of those. Interesting. I think we need to go off. Yeah, you're supposed to look at the door itself. Threw me on too. Yeah, yeah. And this one's out here. Old school house outdoors. Interesting. So you know all these blue markers that help you with these quest mystables? Yeah, they weren't a thing for the majority of the series. You either used a guide or would drag your face along everything mashing X. Oh man, yeah. It's probably a lot harder. Damn it, what's going on here? What's up with that? I don't know, but it does look serious. Hey, what's wrong? Hey, don't stand by the door. Who knows when the monsters might suddenly pop out of there? Monsters? There are monsters in the building? Yeah, lots. Lots and lots of huge ones, just past the door. This building is a former school house of the Academy. Under normal circumstances, the entrance is locked up, but I brought the key from Mr. Elford. All the prep means it's noisy around the schools today, so I wanted to rest someplace quiet. Someplace quiet? Some people just call that slacking off? Festival prep is such a pain. The people who want to do it should just do it on their own. What kind of attitude is that? How can you say that when everyone else is working so hard? There, Estelle. Never mind him. We have to confirm the issue with the monsters. But he... Oh, right. If what he says is true, we can't just leave it be. Not with the festival commencing tomorrow. There's nothing you wimps can do, and nothing I can do either. I'll return the key, and Mr. Elford will know about it. It's seriously dangerous, so don't go near the entrance. Interesting. Can we... Nice.
The old schoolhouse is pretty creepy at this hour.
I guess we didn't need to do that because we're good.
Nope! Let's go! Before the ghosts come out.
This is dangerous.
Take you down!
Remain calm.
This is so Shinra Mansion coded to me.
Let's keep it up!
Oh, nice. We petrified him.
I'm on fire!
I guess.
I'm not done yet.
Nice.
How do you like that?
Yeah, the interaction symbol wouldn't even show up on the overworld until you're like 1 centimeter away. Okay, yeah, that's a great quality of life feature. Oh wait, we can loop back around. There were some items that we couldn't get earlier. A U material.
This is dangerous. Yeah.
Actually, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, I want you because I love her triangle ability. Yeah, that shit's awesome. Go follow up.
Let's go!
Oh fuck. Damn it.
That was my chance! This is the end!
We can rest easy now.
Let's see.
Here we go! Stay back!
Oh fuck.
We'll do it together! You'll face me! Let's go! Okay! You're mine!
Everyone, great job.
Awesome. And let's look upstairs. The mansion is like one of my favorite JRPG tropes. I love alt mansions. This isn't technically an alt mansion. It's the old school, but it's still kind of an alt mansion. I mean, let's just be real.
Stay back!
Let's see how you fare.
Do it together! You're mine! Let's go! Got it! Bonus! My turn!
Do you have I don't think she has anything that delays. Steal bonus? Oh, let's steal his crit.
How about this?
Healing! You're a lifesaver. Now's my chance.
Tell that. Ah, you fucking serious?
This
Wow,
is
okay.
bad.
We'll still do a crit.
I'm not done yet. Healing! You're a lifesaver. That's enough.
The old schoolhouse has become a trope as well in JRPGs. My favorite is in DQ9. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I just like the trope. It's kind of got like a little bit of a horror vibe to it almost. It's a nice change of pace from like usually, you know, you see like all these like fantasy visuals throughout a game like this, and then you go into a place like this and it's a bit more decrepit. It's a nice mix-up.
This is bad. How do you like that?
Estelle, you were incredible.
Defeated all the monsters. Nice.
This feels great.
Oh, Mr. Elford. Hey, are you all okay? Mick told me that monsters appeared at the old schoolhouse, so I rushed over. Oh, about that. No need to worry about that anymore. We hunted them all down. Oh, is that so? Right, I remember Estelle here as a bracer. Thank you so much for this. It'd have been terrible if something happened during the festival tomorrow. Yes, I agree. Alright, I'll lock the door down just in case. It doesn't hurt to be too careful. Yes, I agree, that's for the best. That should do it. Alright then, I'll head back to the night duty room. It's technically past curfew after all. You all shouldn't stay out too late either, okay? Yes, we'll be careful. Sure thing. BP increased by 3.
Everyone's working so hard for the festival.
Oh shit.
You can really see how passionate they are.
Is this where the third book is? Nice. So now we just need to return that book, these books to that guy.
My family will come see it.
Oh yeah, do we have any rewards right now? No. I need to start cooking. I have not been cooking. I've just been buying it. Enhanced weapons a total of 6 times. That one's easy. A lot of these I could get. Defeat 6 enemies at once. Destroy 500 breakable objects. Okay, we're almost there for that one.
Are you hungry?
I haven't even kept track of like which ones I wanted to target. I just like get the rewards as they come. If we need more sources that can back up our research. Have you seen the books titled Ruan's Economic History? Oh shit. Big super chat. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. If the damn thing will let me see. Oh, Thunder's Productions. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. You're the best, bro. Sorry, the Streamlabs wasn't letting me see like the donation for a second there. Thanks again, man. Actually, I love that. Is that a Shiba Inu? I love that emote. Thank you. Have you seen books titled Ruan's Economic History anywhere? Yeah, we got all of them. How have you been, by the way? Hope you've been doing good. It's got to be the book we found, right? Yes, I believe that's it. Lazarus X, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Appreciate you stopping by. How are you? Logan, is this what you're looking for? Ruan's Economic History. Yes, that's it. It's exactly the book I was searching for. All right, that's all 3 books. Excellent. Logan, I can't wait to see the results of your search. I won't disappoint you. I'll work hard to ensure you don't regret helping me at all. Now then, I must continue my research. I don't have much time left. Chloe, good luck with the play. Yes, we'll try just as hard as you. Right, Estelle? Look forward to it. Good luck to us both. Oh, let's make sure we've saved real quick. Cool, we're almost 30 hours in. Okay, actually, 1 second. Let me go pee real quick. Let me go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, and then we can start the play. 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. Sorry that took a moment. That's a fantastic idea. You're absolutely brilliant, Headmaster. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. Now then, may I entrust the list to you? You may leave it to me. Excuse us. Oh, sorry. Were you still in the middle of something? Oh no, we were just wrapping up. In fact, Headmaster Collins, please don't spill the beans yet. You're going to ruin tomorrow's fun. What's going on here? You're acting way too suspicious. Jill, what are you up to? You'll find out tomorrow. What brings you here? Something you needed from me? Yes, actually. They told Jill everyone was gathering in the dining hall to boost morale for tomorrow. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Let's celebrate the inevitable success of tomorrow's school festival. Let's party it up, girls. Be careful not to party so hard it affects tomorrow, Yes, we will. Alright, Jill, shall we hit the dining hall? Yeah, let's. We brought Jill. Good work, guys. Good work, Jill. Hey, we've been waiting for you. Why don't we grab some food? I'm so hungry I could die. I attended the last rehearsal and ran all over the academy today. But that's all over after today. Yeah, exactly. Time to get back in the zone. Especially with this new task we got. A new task? What's that? I'll talk to you about it later. But for now, let's celebrate to a successful festival. Estelle, Joshua, I'm counting on you two. You got it. Leave it to us. We'll do our very best. That night, they all spent a lively evening in the dining hall. At the end, they toasted with soft drinks, wishing for the success of the play. Returning to the dorms, they turned in early to rest up for the next day. Then, the morning of the school festival dawned.
Stage props, check. Lighting, check. All right, we're all set and ready to go.
The doors will be opening soon. We still have some time before the play, so go have fun and check out the festival.
Now you're talking. I'm gonna check out all the food stalls one by one.
Okay, but don't eat too much. An upset stomach could hurt your performance.
I know. You don't have to remind me. By the way, you guys are coming too, right?
Not Hans and me. We have student council duties, so we can't go. You three go have fun, though.
What?
By student council duties, are you referring to what you mentioned last night? Would you like me to help out too?
Oh, no, don't worry. You take Estelle and Joshua and show them around. The little ones should be arriving soon too, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Don't worry, we'll be sure to sneak in some fun when we get the chance. Oh, hey, Joshua. If you find a lady who matches my type, give me a heads up, will ya? I'll sneak right out for a midday rendezvous.
Yeah, I know. The tall beauty with an air of maturity, right?
Exactly! I knew I could count on you, my friend.
Boys will be boys. Huh? Hey, is something wrong, girls?
Thank you all for your patience. The 52nd Janus Royal Academy School Festival will now begin.
Wow. There are so many people here.
The Janus Royal Academy certainly lives up to its reputation. Really feels like a major festival.
It seems like we have more guests than usual this year.
All right, guess it's time to get started.
Boys will be boys. Meanwhile, they were
Hans,
all
let's get
throwing
going.
themselves at Joshua.
Roger
I know.
We'll be in the student council room, so come find us if you need anything.
Got it. Good luck, you two.
Well then, shall we take a look around?
Yeah, let's go. All right, where should we go first?
Chloe, if there's anywhere
Interesting.
you'd like to visit, just let me know. Are there any bargains?
See.
Take your time to choose.
Some good food
Pick
here.
you.
I made up my mind.
I pick
Grab some
you.
food.
Thank you.
So,
Yes, of course.
welcome.
Time for some shopping.
Take your time to choose.
Right.
Let's do our best. Which one should I
Welcome.
pick?
Take your time to choose.
I made up my mind.
I'm just buying like one or two of everything.
Thank you. The art club is hosting a crepe show.
What to pick? What to pick?
I'll pick this.
Take your. Isn't it everything you dreamed of?
All the effort was worth it.
Are you hungry?
Huh? Is that Professor Alba?
My, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua. What a coincidence. I'm delighted to see you're both looking well.
Were you invited to the school festival too, Professor? Oh, no, nothing quite like that. I'm here to conduct an excavation study at the Azure Tower in this region. I thought the Academy might have some useful reference materials. Oh, you sure are dedicated. I love coffee, but coffee ice cream ain't it, fam? I could see. Well, since I don't have much Mira, passion and stamina are all I have to sustain my research. By the way, I heard the Academy has a number of different courses. Are there any exhibits on display? Yes, only from the Social Studies Department. The students are presenting their independent research projects. Wait, is Professor Alba Sarah's favorite character, really? Oh, how splendid. That takes me right back to my own school days. Where are these presentations being held? Ah, right, this is your first time visiting the Academy. How to explain? It is rather tricky, isn't it? There are so many buildings on campus after all. Would you like us to guide you there? That would be most helpful, but I wouldn't want to take up your precious festival time. Oh, don't worry about that. It's no biggie. Is that so? In that case, please take me to the exhibit whenever it's convenient for you. Until then, I'll just relax here in the cafeteria.
Are you hungry?
Okay, so getting to eat so good every day, at such a low price. I envy them. Really? What's so special about Professor Alba? I'm confused. Oh, this is quite an expressive exhibit, isn't it? And such a variety of topics from history to economics. Thank you. That was very helpful of you. I have no doubt this will be most enjoyable. You're very welcome. As a social studies course student myself, I'm very glad to see your enthusiasm. Yeah, this bookish stuff isn't really my thing. You should at least try taking a bit of interest in these things once in a while. Bracers need to be knowledgeable on all sorts of things, you know. Oh. Well then, allow me to indulge myself. Thank you again for bringing me here. His eyes. His eyes, brother. Do they ever open?
Yeah.
Bro is like Brock Pill to like the max.
Oh, hey guys!
The kids.
Everyone, you're all here.
Glad you made it, kids.
How's the festival? Are you having fun?
Yeah, so much fun! I ate a ton of candy!
You're gonna get a stomach.
The slick back hair.
Daniel.
It's gotta be, dude. I don't understand.
Did you come with Matron Teresa?
I don't understand.
Yeah, she was talking to someone over there, but... Oh, here she comes!
Hello there.
Oh, Matron Teresa.
Now, Matron
Hello,
Teresa,
Matron.
however.
Thank you so much for inviting us today. The children and I have been having a wonderful time.
Hey, Chloe. When does your play start? We're super excited to watch it. It won't start for quite a bit. And guess what? Mrs. Stell and Mr. Joshua will be performing too. Really? Wow, that sounds awesome. Joshua, what kind of character are you in the play? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. By the way, Matron, are you still staying in Minoria? Yes, thanks to the innkeeper's generosity, we're still staying there at a very reasonable rate. But... Hey everyone, do you want to take a look at the stage costumes? We have beautiful dresses and dashing night outfits. Beautiful dresses? Night outfits? Looks like that caught your interest. Alright then, how about I take you guys for an extra special sneak peek before the show starts? Yay! I want to see. I'll be in the dressing room backstage, so take your time. Okay, follow me. Looks like I have a leopard hand there. Oh, you're right. That's the sunlight. Actually, I could probably turn my light off because of the way the sunlight is coming in. It's so bright. It's at like such an angle. But I guess... Oh, that's right. Because we're not used to like... Because daylight savings time happens. Or unhappens. And whichever one it is, we fell back. And now the sun is angled at a different time than it normally is. That's what happened. Okay. My, Joshua really is a thoughtful young man. I was hesitant to say it in front of the children. What does that mean? I decided to accept the mayor's offer. I can't keep imposing on the people of Minoria. After today's festival, I will inform the children. I see. I'll miss you, but I understand. Now, no need to look so glum, dear. The capital is only a short flight away. Additionally, when we arrive, I intend to look for work. That way I can save up one day and rebuild the orphanage. Major. My hair is verso-coated now? Yeah. Well then, I should go catch up with the children. I can't be relying on Joshua for everything now, can I? Everyone does, dude. Joshua is like the most competent person in this game's world so far, other than maybe Cassius. Wow, this one's so cool. I want to wear it. You're too short. I'd love to try on this white dress, though. Well, looks like you're all having fun. I hate this time of year. It's 5:30 in NC, and it's already dark. Depression season. Brother, I love this time of year, but that's because I'm in Texas, and this is the first fucking time of the year that it is not so ball-bustingly hot, and I can just actually like chill and vibe out. And even still, it's kind of hot in my room, so I have the sleeveless on yet again. So at least you're not here in the fucking heat dealing with this, and it only lasts for like a couple months until we're right back to insane heat again. Where's Joshua? Oh, Joshua? He disappeared somewhere after bringing us here. He said he wanted to wait until you came. Okay. I wonder if something happened. I know. Joshua went to look for the Silver Man. Sephiroth? The man who saved us all from the fire. He had a pretty shiny silver hair. Sephiroth. It's funny, we were talking about your hair. I was just thinking yesterday, I was showering. I wish my curls were looser like NSP's. I appreciate it. Glad you like the mane, brother. It was just for a second, though. Joshua went all wide-eyed, though. Oh, wide-eyed, too. Polly? Why didn't you tell us when you saw him? Because I was busy eating my crepe. Estelle? Right. Matron, I think I need to go. Yes, it seems like that would be best. Chloe, you should go with her as well. You needn't worry about us. I'm sorry, thank you, Matron. Aw, are you two leaving already? Unfortunately, yes, sorry, but please look forward to the play. She's right, we're gonna blow you away. It's been quite chilly here, I like the heat. I'd rather it be 100 every day than 40? No. I'd rather it be 40. I'd rather it be cold. Sorry. I'd rather it be cold every day than hot every day. Living this shit, dude. I promise you. We've got to find Joshua. We still don't know who that silver-haired guy is, but I got a bad feeling about this. Please wait a moment. Sig? The reason is because it's so much easier to heat up a room than it is to like cool it down. Like, heating up a room Like, I could just turn on this fucking hot-ass PC. Or I could turn on the light here. And I could turn on a space heater. And I can do exercise. And then that cools the room off, right? But there is nothing you can, I mean, that heats the room up. But there's nothing you can do to like cool a room off other than just blasting the AC. Right? You can always do things to get warmer. But like, the number of things you can do to cool off is extraordinarily limited. Thermodynamics is not a fair game. It is better to be a little cold than a little hot, like objectively, because of how thermodynamics works. I am firmly in the rather be cold camp. Far easier to get warm when you are cold, just get a blanket, but cooling down when you are hot, not to mention the room retaining heat, or you know, no AC, be in the UK in my case, right, exactly. And then, you know, like with AC, like some rooms get colder than others do, so you may have to freeze other people in your house so that you can get cold. Fans help, but they don't really cool you off quite. I mean, space heater though during the winter is fucking amazing. So I need to ask you something. Do you know where Mr. Joshua went? So you can literally get like those little hot hands packets that you just shake up. And then they warm up, and they're super hot for like multiple hours. But like, if you're hot, what are you gonna do? Put ice in your pocket? You know, it's like, dang, that shit sucks. That bird's as clever as ever. Hey, isn't he going towards? Yes, the old schoolhouse behind the main building.
How about some delicious ice cream?
Silver hair. The one who rescued everyone at the orphanage.
Nah, bro.
We gotta focus on
Why is the man
Joshua.
with silver hair headed toward like the Shinra mansion? Interesting. Interesting developments.
That's weird. I could have sworn I felt his presence.
Sephiroth.
It can't be.
Joshua!
Estelle? Chloe? Seriously, don't worry us like that. You scared us out of our shoes going after that silver-haired guy. What? How did you hear about that? We heard from Polly. She seems it seems she spotted him as well. She's pretty observant. I followed someone I thought was him all the way up here, but I lost him. Oh my. He gave you the slip? In that case, he's no ordinary guy. Who in the world is he? No idea. But I have a feeling he's not the one responsible for the arson at the orphanage. Not that I have any proof. I see. Why did you go off alone? I'd like to know that as well. You could have at least left us a message or... Sorry. Looks like I worried you both. I wasn't worried. I was pointing out the importance of teamwork and... You don't have to lie. You were in an utter panic just a few minutes ago. No, I wasn't. You weren't exactly taking it lightly either, Chloe. Well, thanks both of you.
Attention, please. All play staff and performers, please begin preparations in the auditorium. I repeat. All play staff and performers, please begin preparations in the auditorium.
Oh, it's time already?
Yes, we'll begin shortly, after getting in costume.
All right then, it's showtime. Hey, wait. What about the silver-haired guy?
Right. We probably have no choice but to ask Karna to keep an eye out.
Estelle, Joshua, and Chloe passed the information about the silver-haired man. 30 minutes later.
Whoa, there are so many people out there. I'm starting to get nervous now.
It'll be
How
all
loud
right,
is that
Estelle.
speaker?
We've
Wait, you're
practiced
right.
so much for this.
That's
Don't
loud
worry,
as hell.
you'll forget all about it once you get out on stage. You are the type who can only focus on one thing at a time, after all.
Hey, I wasn't talking to you. Well, I guess I don't mind, since I get to see you in that beautiful dress.
Yeah.
All right. You two go flirt on your own time. This year's festival's been a huge success already. Just because we've got a few bigwigs, like the Duke and the Mayor in the audience, doesn't mean we should panic. We just have to perform like we practiced.
We've put our all into this and brought it to life. Let's show them what all that hard work was for.
Jose.
Thank you for your patience. The Student Council proudly presents the historical play, Magical of the White Flower. We hope you enjoy the show.
Our story takes place in the 1100s of the Septian calendar. The nobility still holds sway in Liberal. And yet, the influence of the commoners, led by merchants, grows rapidly. With each passing day, the conflict between these two factions grows more and more fierce. And neither the royal family nor the church have been able to mediate a resolution. It is in this era, but 1 year after the death of the reigning king, our tale begins on an early spring evening. The place, the garden terrace atop Bransell Castle.
The lights of the city. Each one a spark of life. Each light below must hold its own happiness. And yet, here I remain.
Princess! There you are! It's time for you to rest, Your Highness. If you stay awake much longer, it may take a toll on your health.
Perhaps it would be best if I were to fall ill. One less spark to ignite the fire of strife within Liberal.
Oh, please, speak not of such things. You are the cherished treasure of Liberal. One day you shall wed a fine husband and unite the kingdom under your rule.
I have no intention to marry, though it might have been my late father's wish. On this matter, I cannot yield.
Why would you say that, Your Highness? With two such fine suitors, no less. One is Lord Julius, the Duke's heir and captain of the King's Guard. And the other is Lord Oscar, a fierce general of humble birth, celebrated for his valor. Ah, both are simply wonderful.
I know better than anyone just how remarkable they both are. Oscar, Julius, whom should I choose?
Oh my, is that Princess Joshua? I see they reversed the genders. Jill certainly thought this through.
I agree, milady. Although, while Mr. Joshua looks fine, the other maids are, well...
Do you remember, Oscar? Those days of our youth, running wild through the alleyways, sticks in hand, as though they were swords.
Julius, how could I ever forget? Those carefree days I spent with you and Princess Cecilia.
Has to be a model swap? That's
They are
funny.
a treasure I hold dear, even now.
He does fit the dress
I was
pretty well,
rather
though,
shocked
right?
at the time to find I was not the only one who was out for leisure in secret. A
girl with the grace of falling cherry blossoms, and a purity like clear spring water. Princess Cecilia was truly the sun around which we both revolved.
And yet, that light of hers is dimming little by little. The nobles and commoners, their clash has come to a head, and no one can halt it now.
Probably late.
It's little wonder the princess is falling into such melancholy.
And
not an exact date.
What cruel irony. Her sorrow is deepened by none other than our very presences.
They're so handsome. Darn it! They're cooler than us guys!
Now, let's watch quietly, all right?
Julius, I trust you understand. We cannot allow the commoner's insolence to grow unchecked any longer. As though we could bow to a king of common blood. The noble authority of liberal will fall to ruin.
With respect, Father, it has been nearly 10 years since the Republic was founded in the East. Perhaps the rise of the commoners is the inevitable course of this era.
How dare you speak such vile words? Freedom? Equality? It's unthinkable.
Why is she pushing it
cast
like that?
aside tradition and place those of noble and common blood on equal grounds.
Final
I
Fantasy
would sooner
Tactics.
see us kneel before the Empire than endure such disgrace.
Father!
That Duke's got a fair point. We let commoners get out of line, and all our traditions are going to be lost.
Bro, of course this motherfucker.
Your Grace,
Of
I wonder if you
course.
might lower your voice just a little.
He's like, yeah, fuck poor people. Let's go.
I have
This
high
place
hopes
cooking.
for you. With the royal family's support, we'll have little trouble throwing off the chains of those lecherous nobles. Through you, we, the common people, shall hold true authority in both name and deed.
Yet, Chairman, I cannot abide by this. To use Princess Cecilia as a pawn in such political maneuvering.
As selfless as ever. This is a chance to ascend to royalty, even if in name alone. Should you refuse, bloodshed and revolution will be the only path forward.
I like that because
Both
of the
nobility
gender
and
swap.
royal family alike will
All the
vanish
guys
into
in
the
this play
shadows
are
of
short
history.
kings. Like, that's awesome.
Impressive. The historical research is quite well done. At first, I wasn't so sure about the role reversal between the boys and girls, but...
There's no doubt that this is the result of the students' hard work, along with the support of those two young bracers.
I cannot allow a bloody revolution to come to pass. I cannot let Julius nor Princess Cecilia come to harm. What should I do?
Ugh, this is bad. I feel sick.
Oh, are you all right? You ought not drink so heavily. Spring or no, you'll catch a cold sleeping in such a place.
Ah, bless you, noble knight. My thanks to you.
Please, noble knight is far too grand for me. I am but a man of little renown. A mere novice, lost, uncertain of even how to proceed.
Aye, novice indeed.
What? My sword arm!
This blade is coated with a numbing poison. Best you surrender quietly.
Are you, by chance, an assassin?
It seems a certain noble thought you a troublesome pest. He paid quite the advance, so it's time for you to die.
Huh, I see. They're putting on quite a good show. I'm guessing the next part's gonna be... Oh, whoops. I almost forgot I was here for work.
It has been some time, Princess.
Julius, it truly has been so long. You were not here with Oscar today, I see. When my father was still alive, the ladies-in-waiting all admired the sight of you two sharing laughter in court.
As you are surely aware, Princess, the kingdom now stands at the brink of ruin. For he and I to remain close may no longer be possible. Today, I have come to you with a request.
What could it be?
I ask that you grant permission for a duel between myself, the captain of the Kingsguard, and the young general, Oscar. And to the victor, the honor of your hand in marriage.
This is quite a dramatic performance.
Drawn into the bitter clash between the noble and commoner factions, two knights, once the dearest of friends, found themselves on paths opposed. Understanding fully the steel of their resolves, the princess found herself unable to speak a word in protest. And so, the day of the duel arrived. In the grand arena of the royal capital, the two knights took their places. Nobles, commoners, and those beside, each watched with wary eyes. However, Princess Cecilia's presence was nowhere to be found.
So, it has come to this, my friend. As rivals, we were always destined to settle this one day. Draw your blade, for the burdens each of us bears, and for the princess we cherish above all.
Destiny is a path we carve with our own two hands. My solemn duty, the princess's smile. Both seem so distant now.
Have you lost your nerve, Oscar?
But what is this raging passion that burns through my soul? It seems I, too, can scarcely resist the urge to face you with all my might! Before the tempest of revolution consumes all in its path, let fate be decided by the sword!
Oh, may the goddess of the sky bear witness to the souls of us both! Come, let